Okay. I've been wanting to get back into Apex ever since I got. Ever since something bad happened to my account. Because I did nothing but defend myself. Is what I tell myself every single day since I got banned. I was being nasty. But only because they started being nasty to me first. Should I have reciprocated that attitude? No. But I did. Look at my Mirage. You like my Mirage? Go on. I'm borrowing this account, by the way. It's not mine. It's a buddy. It's a buddy of mine's. This is how I am able to play right now. Let's see. Oh, terrible. What the heck? Okay, hold on. What's with the audio? Why is the audio crap right now? Fine. That one's on. Audio input. Jesus Christ, it's capturing everything. Oh my goodness, the audio is really bad. What's up with this? Okay. Just don't. What? Okay. What about that one? Is that one? Mic? Okay, no mic aux. No mic aux. Okay, hold on. Xbox, okay, that one's... There we go. I don't know what I did, but that's it. Why is this one on? This should not be on. Have I been having audio just like this? Dude, this is insane. I am so bad with audio when it comes to streaming. That's the one thing I can't get right. Okay, revisiting Apex, dude. Because I haven't been able to play Apex, but, you know, my buddy let me borrow this account, so now I can play it. Alright. Pretty cool. And I want to watch this Too Lazy video because bro doesn't drop that often. And he's pretty goated at covering stuff. How funny is white supremacy and Nazism? Being a Nazi while black. Ain't that funny? Ain't that a funny thing?
A Miami Beach nightclub.
Hold on. Look at that. I haven't even showered. I just got out of work and came straight here. Okay, bro. What? Don't do this to me. Oh, this chair. What is it? Oh, it's so... Damn it, man. Wait, what the heck? Okay, sources. Audio mixing. Desktop audio. Xbox audio. Oh, you can't hear any. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Catching heat, accused of celebrating hate with a song about Hitler. Controversial influencers are also in a video from a limo. In that one, they're singing, and one of them is performing a Nazi salute. The mayor has this message.
It's disgusting, it's shameful, and you are not welcome in Miami Beach.
I'm not here to make excuses for myself. I'm not here to say it wasn't me.
Okay, there we go. All right. Figured it out.
A Miami Beach nightclub catching heat, accused of celebrating hate with a song about Hitler. Controversial influencers are also in a video from a limo. In that one, they're singing, and one of them is performing a Nazi salute. The mayor has this message.
It's disgusting, it's shameful, and you are not welcome in Miami Beach.
I'm not here to make excuses for myself. I'm not here to say it wasn't me. I'm not here to, blame someone else. But it is kind of ridiculous. It does feel a bit unfair that I'm standing in a nightclub. A song comes on that I did not request. A song comes on that I do not dance to. I do not repeat the lyrics to. I just stand there. And then they want to attribute somehow the song playing to me and it all being my fault. I totally understand some people are offended by it. I get it. So I'm sorry to anybody who is offended. I'm sorry to anybody who's offended.
I don't want an apology. Nobody. I don't even think you should
I don't
apologize.
think this is a I don't think this is a podcast to bring you on to apologize.
Not at all.
All right, so Andrew Tate is in trouble once again. This guy just always finds himself in the middle of controversy, and his whole career now is him just trying to do damage control. I mean, he's even apologizing now, so he must be really freaking out over the recent backlash, because this is making him look really pathetic here. Like, he's doing whatever he can to distance himself.
Holy shit, we have to start again. One more time. Oh, that's right. There, and right here. Okay.
A Miami Beach nightclub catching heat, accused of celebrating hate with a song about Hitler. Controversial
Okay. Not white. Not 100% white over here on this corner. Not white. Are the Tate brothers? No, they're not white. White is clavicular white. I mean, I know he looks white. He's white. Who else is white?
Influencers are also in a video from a limo.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at
They're
this.
singing, and one of them is performing a Nazi salute.
Crap! I did not mean to do that. This guy should be like the king of rage bait, because I don't know, maybe in his internal core, I don't believe he actually stands for all this stuff that he spews out to his fans. I don't want to believe it. That's just me, though. But this has got to be top tier rage baiting, dude. You see a black dude doing this? He's not even being super loyal to it. Like, come on, bro. Like, do it like super straight all the way.
The mayor has this message.
It's disgusting, it's shameful, and you are not welcome in Miami Beach.
I'm not here to make excuses for myself. I'm not here to say it wasn't me.
You know what? This guy's just going to cover Andrew Tate. So, I mean, I like this guy's content, but that's not what I'm... yeah, no, that's not what I'm... this is what I want to cover. CNN? No, thanks. Honestly, in my opinion, the thing that, let's say, anti-Israel, anti... the genocide that's going on, that is just ammo that these neo-Nazis and actual Nazis and crazy bandwagon racists are using to pretty much, without knowing, teaming up with like leftists and anti-fascists, Antifa people. And what both of these groups are getting wrong is being anti all Jewish people. And it's like, dude, why are we grouping everybody in with the bad ones? I don't know how people group in regular Jewish people that have nothing to do with what's going on over there with actual, Israeli Jews that are for the genocide. Oh my goodness, I have not played this game in such a long time, and I know I'm gonna be horrible. Look at that. I have like 3 freaking... Okay, I got this. Okay, I feel like I'm playing Arc Raiders. Okay, alright. I don't know where they're firing from. You see? Okay, this one. Okay. Okay, what's going on here? Crap! You see, all this that the left is against, they're doing it now. Justifiably so. I'm gonna say it. I don't care. Wait, am I in regular? I'm in pubs. No, just kidding. Not justifiably so. They're doing exactly what they say they're against. Whoa. What's going on? Who's fighting who now? No! I did it again. Well, now what? Hold on. What is this guy fighting against? What does he stand for? Okay, so apparently in Minneapolis, influencer Jake Lang. Holy crap, I did not know this guy was an influencer. Is this who that is? Where's his actual... Is this who this is? Jake Lang, J6. Okay. Alright. Christian March. They always go with that. None of these people are actual Christians. Bro, I'm not even a Christian. I believe in God, but I don't believe in the Bible. And even I know this isn't real Christianity.
That's not the same treatment that we have.
What is this? Golden Age Day 5. 100 days of Trump's Golden Age. What is Golden Age? Why is there a black man here? I don't know if I can even call these people racists.
It's happening to different states around the country. I'm in Colorado. This place is an absolute raging mess. Taking away Second Amendment rights. They've...
Colorado? Colorado is? Is Colorado shit. Taking away Second Amendment rights. Where am I going? I hate this map. Colorado has not taken away the Second Amendment rights of its residents entirely, but has implemented several laws, stricter gun control laws that are viewed by gun rights advocates as infringements upon... Okay, so he's 1% right.
First Amendment, if you don't self-affirm a child's gender identity, they can actually...
Hot take. The whole let's let kids decide if they're trans or not, I think it's so insane. They're kids, bro. I'm not calling thinking you're trans like a phase or anything. I believe transgender people deserve rights just like any of us, but leave the kids alone, man. Like leave them alone. Leave them alone. Let them figure themselves out. Holy crap. I am so rusty.
Actually have CPS come in and steal your kids. I mean, what kind of world is that?
What?
That's not the United States of America. That's not the country we grew up in. And by the way, I can also say this. While criminals are getting away with a lot of different stuff, you still have the school to prison pipeline that's happening in major cities. You're still killing disproportionately babies in communities, and they're making it almost like it's a right and that a rite of passage to actually have abortions. I mean, there's a lot of different things that we're going through right now that we want to act like we're making progress. Make progress at the root of the problem. And we haven't done that yet. We haven't done that in the first 100 days. And frankly, until they stop doing photo ops and start actually putting people in cuffs, I'm not going to be satisfied. I'm still thirsty. I'm still hungry.
I agree. I'm happy, but not satisfied, right? It's like same analogy kind of last night. I feel like the appetizer was great, but the main course is yet to be set. And then after you eat the main course, that's when...
Holy crap, there is something wrong with this guy. And I thought I had poor communication skills.
And you pop the champagne bottle.
Why do you talk like this, bro?
We're still a couple steps away from Dom Luker's celebrations.
No, brother.
We are yet to have the full course meal of...
We're still RPGing, bro. We're still RPGing. It's still a role-playing game. I mean, it's not real life.
Well,
that hasn't hit the American people
pushback,
yet.
We did have a second arrest of a liberal lunatic judge today, and we'll try to get up some clips on that. So there is, I mean, that was literally the smallest morsel. That was like the waiter coming by and dropping a French fry on the table for like 14 people trying to eat.
And charging
like
$50 for it.
Low-level judge.
That freaking French fry.
What are you talking about?
No-name, low-level judge. Matt.
Okay, that's all I wanted to watch. Okay, this guy. Golden Age. Why doesn't he update? How come he doesn't upload more often? Okay. Latest 2 months ago, sued in massive 100. No, I got nothing to go off on. Okay, I guess let's watch the one more recent.
Get the out of here!
I wonder what he's telling you. Why would he do this? This is just as dumb as a lefty going out and protesting and reversing and then driving forward. No, I'm just kidding. It's not funny. She didn't deserve to die. And she was not trying to run anybody over. She backed up for a reason because she was trying to get away. Okay? If you think otherwise, well, that's your prerogative. Except the difference is he didn't get murdered. This is the violence that he's receiving. This is how he was almost annihilated. He got thrown water balloons at him. What do you mean, bro? Water balloons? Water balloons? I don't know, man. Your side quite literally uses bullets.
Make some room. Let them get out of here.
I don't know, man. The whole let's be the bigger person, it hasn't been really working out for anybody except the oppressing side. And that's how, for a long time, they've been able to stay in power and do whatever they want and treat us like cattle. Because they know what retaliation in reality. Hey, I'm going to protest. That'll teach them. Okay. Has protesting won in any wars? I am genuinely wondering that. Like, genuinely. Okay. Holy crap, they're actually going at it. That's right, bro. You're gonna be just okay because you didn't get murdered. You're actually protected by the people that you don't like.
Put out.
It's like, in reality, Jake Lang is just a very, very tiny individual that promotes the most generic, anti-left, anti-democrat propaganda. What would that even accomplish? Because these people literally wanted to get to him, but there's other people trying to protect them. Okay, I need another gun. That was a dumb move. I should not have done that. Okay. Alright, well. I keep thinking I'm playing Ark. Yep, no, I cannot play this game anymore. I am so ass.
Back up. Hey, don't get in.
In America.
Today, new rage on the
street. This is insane. Okay.
This is crazy. Trump's DOJ is now ramping up an investigation.
No. No, Philip boy. I want to see you. Okay. Where's the Jake Lang one? Okay, I guess.
An investigation into top Minnesota Democrats over their opposition to his immigration crackdown. Right? They've subpoenaed at least 6 state and local officials who have spoken out, including Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry, St. Paul Mayor Khalil Herr, Attorney General Keith Ellison, and attorneys for Hennepin County and Ramsey County, which are where Minneapolis and St. Paul are located. And those last 3 are especially notable because they have the power to open investigations into alleged crimes into their jurisdictions, including the killing of Renee Good. But also, experts say that the subpoenas could make that more difficult. Though also, investigating, it's already a challenge. And that's because the Trump FBI, they've reportedly withheld access to evidence and otherwise refused to work with state and local authorities. But in any case, you had Ellison telling reporters that the subpoena that his office received was only for records and documents and not for him personally, though he also went on to accuse Trump of targeting his office because it just filed a lawsuit alleging that the administration's mass deployment of immigration agents to the state, that violated the Constitution. With Ellison also adding, let's be clear about why this is happening. Donald Trump is coming after the people of Minnesota, and I'm standing in the way. saying, I will
missing
not
all
be
of my
intimidated
shots.
and I will not stop working to protect Minnesotans from Trump's campaign of retaliation and revenge. You also had Walz calling the whole thing political theater aimed at intimidating public servants. And you had Fry similarly accusing the government of weaponizing its power to try to intimidate local leaders for just doing their jobs. And actually, very notably, the subpoena that Fry received, unlike Ellison's, it's apparently directed at him personally, and it asks him to appear before a grand jury on February 3rd, telling him to bring all records and communications relating to compliance or lack of compliance with immigration detainers in the state of Minnesota. But then also, right, all these subpoenas, they reportedly don't cite a specific criminal statute, right? They're just tied to this recently revealed investigation into whether elected officials' criticism of the crackdown in Minnesota amounts to a conspiracy to impede federal law enforcement. And as we've seen with this Trump administration, despite this apparently being an open investigation, the officials, they haven't hesitated to breach standard DOJ practice and just throw around serious accusations before it's finished. And so you're seeing things like Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche recently accusing Walz and Fry of encouraging violence against law enforcement and even referring to their actions as terrorism. Though to be clear here, what we have actually heard from Walz and Fry is harshly worded criticism.
Get the fuck out of Minneapolis.
Walz has also openly encouraged citizens to record video of any arrests or other encounters between ICE agents and members of the public.
When the whole COVID thing was going on, MAGA, the right, conservatives, all of them, they were all super anti, covering up your face because they said, why are you wearing a diaper? Why do you need to follow these rules? This is all a sham. Why are they now covering their faces? I get the whole, some of them are getting doxxed and stuff, and they run. But it's like, 10 toes down. Why don't you stand by what you believe in? Whoa, somebody's shooting at me. Oh. Where? Okay. I can't see anything.
To create a database of potential future prosecution or wrongdoing by federal law enforcement. And so with everything that's actually been happening rather than what's being alleged, it has legal experts saying that, they're skeptical that there's any real substance to the case, which is then especially notable when you consider the resources that are being devoted to this ridiculousness instead of investigating and maybe even bringing charges against Jonathan Ross, the agent who shot and killed Renee Good on camera. Because on that note, the Trump DOJ, they're actually looking into potential connections between Good, her partner, and left-wing protesters in Minnesota. That is where this administration's priorities are. And that decision also led to the resignation last week of 6 prosecutors in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minneapolis. And that actually includes one who oversaw the fraud investigation that Trump and his allies have repeatedly used to criticize Democratic leaders in the state and justify the initial surge of agents. Right, and that is actually one of the reasons why the department is extremely short-staffed in Minnesota, with another being that many prosecutors left last year as the administration offered buyouts and encouraged them to quit. And so now what you've been seeing is the Trump administration bringing in prosecutors and agents from other states, apparently not just to keep working on that fraud investigation, but to pursue criminal charges against protesters that it says have impeded the activities of ICE agents. Though also a big thing with that is despite Trump officials repeatedly claiming that the protesters have just been out there breaking the law left and right, you had the Washington Post reporting this week that only 7 people have actually been charged with assaulting or impeding federal agents since December. And in fact, only 2 have been charged since the killing of Renee Good on January 7th. But also, that's not to say...
What? Shit. Charged for murder. I just know Google thinks I am retarded. Come on, internet. As of mid-January 2026, Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agent Jonathan Ross, who shot and killed Renee Good in Minneapolis on January 7th, has not been publicly charged with murder by state or federal prosecutors, though federal officials initially claimed justification leading to a conflict. Wait, who has been charged? What do you mean, bro?
That there haven't been people getting swept up in this. It's just that they're not protesters. Right? You've had CBP Commander Gregory Bovino, who you probably know because he's been out there doing his best SS cosplay, revealing recently that officers have made...
Oh, yeah, this is insane, bro. What's his name? Gregory Bovino. That's a funny name. Okay. Gregory Bovino. I need to see it. I need to see him do it. Did he? Was it just a picture, or did he actually do it? Oh crap! I hear them, but I can only hear them from one side because, well, I only got one headphone on. Jesus Christ, I am terrible at this. Terrible, terrible. Where's the guy doing the salute? Roman salute. There we go.
The Border Patrol chief now
Is that
required
actually
to
what it
appear
was?
in front of a federal judge 5 days a week. Experts saying the judge today laying out the groundwork for accountability for federal agents. U.S. Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino met with jeers outside.
Okay. Maybe he's being... maybe he's trying to be as subtle as he can. Was it? I mean, he went like this first, and then he went like that, like saying, "Hey guys, how's it going?" Yeah.
The Dirksen Federal Building.
Let's watch it again. Let's watch it again.
Outside the Dirksen Federal Building as he with jeers outside the Dirksen Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino met with jeers outside.
Is he telling people to like move or something? Military troop movement commands. Okay. So why is the left going out there and just doing the same thing that the right does? Is just capturing a moment and using that moment to completely narrate a whole situation that is not true. It's so easy to look this up. It took me, what, like a minute because I'm doing something else? It would have taken me seconds to look this up. Was he actually doing... He's doing commands, bro. He wasn't actually doing a Nazi salute.
At the Dirksen Federal Vino met with
Okay, maybe I'm dumb and I don't even
Federal
actually know
Building
what I'm talking about. Maybe it's not a command. A salute that went straight into the hand and arm signals to agents. Stop trying to mislead and create... what was he telling them? Exactly. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Those hand gestures don't mean shit. They do, though. But what do they mean? Okay, a month ago. Don't come to Bryan College. What do they mean? Okay. Did Gregory Bovini, what was his name? Bovino? Do military shit. Commands. Yes. Okay, no, that's not. I need to find out if this guy was actually doing... It looks like he was doing gestures to like, hey, move or something.
Federal building as he
because he's
saluted
doing
his
that.
troops. The cacophony as he entered and left. A stark met with jeers outside the Dirksen accountability.
Okay. Hold on. Okay.
U.S. Border
He's going Black Lives Matter.
Patrol Commander Gregory
He's going... he's saluting like the American salute.
Vino met with...
And then he's doing a Sig Heil. But it's not even exactly straight, because the Sig Heil is straight, right? I'm so scared of doing that. But his is kind of slanted a bit. So he's going, Black Lives Matter. So we salute them. Bro, I thought you guys didn't like them.
With jeers outside the Dirksen Federal Building as he saluted...
Now let's go around.
...saluted his troops. The
And then let's go back.
And left,
I have no idea what this guy is...
to his demeanor in court.
What type of commands
Judge Sarah
those are.
Ellis doing the vast majority of talking, spending the first 20 minutes of the hearing going through each provision of her temporary restraining order. And before asking a single question, Ellis went through a series of alleged violations where tear gas was deployed without warning.
Are they supposed to give out warnings for people who are just causing a ruckus? Just kidding. I don't get how the well, okay, I shouldn't talk before. Okay,
According to court filings, including this incident in Old Irving Park, where tear gas was deployed as children were preparing for a Halloween.
That's exactly what I needed to hear. This is what the right doesn't want you to hear. Actually, what am I talking about? The right doesn't care. Have you noticed how in the comment sections the right doesn't care anymore if kids get harmed? Like that one black family that was in that one car that they were just trying to get out of their house because they needed to go somewhere. Black family tear gassed by ICE. Okay, come on. I know you know. Is it her? Oh, there we go. This one.
Like, we was trapped. Anyway, I couldn't go for.
They were not protesters. They were not trying to cause any trouble. They were simply trying to go somewhere because they needed to get somewhere, okay? They were getting out of their house, getting out of their neighborhood.
We were pulling off, couldn't go backwards. Like, it was nothing I could have did to get out that situation at the time.
A family was caught in the crossfire between ICE agents and protesters in North Minneapolis. Reg Chapman sat down with a couple and their 6 children who were trapped inside their vehicle when tear gas exploded underneath.
Sean and Destiny Jackson, their 11 and 7-year-olds, 4-year-old twins and 6-month-old baby boy were on their way home from basketball practice.
Like, this is who the right doesn't feel bad for. These type of casualties, like Renee Good, I'm pretty sure she was a straight woman, white woman. They would have been like, okay, guys, maybe tone it down. But nope, she was I want to say bisexual because she had a husband. They don't care. They don't care. But when it happens to them, like how it happened to Jake Clank just now, they are up in arms and saying, you see what the left is? You see how they treat Christians?
Practice when they were caught between protesters and ICE agents.
They stopped at my car and they proceeded to yell in it and said, get out of here. Well, they used profanity. And my husband screamed and said, we're trying.
The couple stayed calm. They say ICE agents ramped up their demands.
They said it again and we said, we're trying if you guys will move. And of course, like everybody's seeing what happened with Renee, what I'm saying, we weren't going to pull off.
Exactly. And that's what, dude. Okay, I'm going to let them finish.
And why they were right there, because that's what we were trying to avoid.
Destiny says the agents walked.
Exactly. They were trying to avoid getting shot. But luckily, they only got tear gassed with their babies in the car. Does the right care? Did the right show the rest of the story? Nope. They're just showing protesters going crazy and getting mauled by ICE. That's what they care about. I've seen in comment sections the right going like, we don't care who gets harmed as long as all the illegals are out. This is exactly what I voted for. That's legitimately what they say. I don't even care if I'm sounding like I'm making this up. You can just go on Instagram and check out like the anti-ICE or actually, yeah, both anti-ICE and pro-ICE posts and uploads. You'll find them right away. This is exactly what I voted for. Look up this in Instagram. Find this somehow on Instagram. Dips, bro. Okay. Got way too many. What am I doing? I'm paying attention to what I'm doing.
The back of their vehicle and released a canister of tear gas under their vehicle.
Within seconds, there was a big boom and our car was up in the air and we slammed down and all of our airbags deployed and all of our doors locked. And tear gas just started forming. A ball of gas just started forming.
I've gotten mazed before. Not because I was in trouble. I was in this Boy Scouts. I was in the Boy Scouts for a police department. And they trained us to, we got tased and we got mazed, okay? Pepper spray. I don't know if pepper spray has any similar level of, where are they? What are you guys shooting at? Oh, crap. Terrible aiming. I am so rusty.
Around the car.
I can only imagine what tear gas is like, especially for a baby. Why are you? Okay.
She says panic set in.
I managed to feel around and open up everybody's, I unlocked everybody's door, and I hopped out and I just started pulling as many kids as I could out.
That's probably what they wanted. That's probably what ICE wanted. They wanted them to get out the car so they had either so they wouldn't be in their car, and it goes both ways. Isn't that crazy? This family was scared for their life because of what happened to Renee Good, and maybe you can argue that these agents were thinking, let's not let them ram us like they did to Renee Good. I mean, like Renee Good did to some of our two of our fellow ICE agents. Justifiably, or the family is more justified to be scared for their lives, of course, because in reality, the ones in total that should be in total control of the situation are the ICE agents. But guess what? They just escalate everything instead of fixing the situation. But no, yeah, let's be scared of the family. Okay. Crap. Boom. Get over here, bro. I'm hoping.
Sanders stepped up. Destiny says she was taken inside a house nearby, and total strangers began helping her children out of the smoke-filled vehicle.
The last person to get out the car was my infant child. And then when he came in, he was lifeless, it was foam or bubbles coming out of his mouth. I had to give him mouth-to-mouth and CPR. I couldn't even breathe myself. And all I remember is between every breath I was saying, I'm gonna give you every breath I have until you get yours back.
The couple has been together since their days at North High School. Sean was coached by Minneapolis and Metro Transit police officers.
Why would you do that?
Respect for law enforcement. Now their lives forever changed by ICE agents and a canister of tear gas.
It's like they didn't have no care in the world for us, so.
And the windows was down. You can see my kids in the car. The lights were on in the car.
With photojournalist Tony Peterson, Reg Chapman, WCCO News.
Parents say that the children are traumatized and not sleeping, but are physically okay. A fund has been set up to help this family financially, to help with medical bills, and to replace the family vehicle.
Well, at least there's that, right? Okay, I need to lock in real quick. Okay. All right. Shit. How the frick do I get out of here? Is he looking at me? I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. Ah! Okay. I need to get out of here. Alright, come on, come on, come on. Jesus, I'm so bad at this game. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Holy crap, this is taking forever. Why are you all the way over there? Oh, okay, I'm down. I don't know how I got out of that situation.
Ooh. The big news out of Davos today, that major gathering of world leaders. President Trump landing on Air Force One, then stunning the crowd with a 90-minute address. It was supposed to be about U.S. housing policy, but it turned into a long rebuttal to other world leaders. He told Canada the country, quote, lives because of us. Told the crowd, quote, you'd all be speaking German if not for America.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Listen, I don't know how much help Canada gets from us, but I feel like they're doing just fine without us. Didn't they stop some... well, I'm not going to speak on that because I'm not 100% sure. Okay, let me just craft these guys and then I'll pay attention.
And he mocked Emmanuel Macron of France for wearing sunglasses indoors. And yet, late today, the president announced what he said was a breakthrough on U.S. control of Greenland. So let's get right to senior White House correspondent Ed O'Keefe, who is traveling with the president. Ed, what a day. Good evening to you.
That's one way to put it, Tony. The president's decision to talk more with NATO about the future of Greenland came as he backed off threats of using military force or new tariffs to get what he wants. But his fresh attacks on Europe angered close allies. As the president...
Okay, hold on. So, he wanted, first of all, he wanted to get Greenland because I'm pretty sure he thought Greenland meant that it was really green and full of life. I think he fell for the old, what's that one guy's name? Ah, shit. I heard his ass.
Helicoptered into this...
That, the thing about, like, when they were naming Greenland and Iceland, they named Greenland, but in fact, that was the place where it snowed a lot, and it was always, like, iced out. And they named Iceland when Iceland was the green place to, confuse, like, some... What was it, some enemies or something? Actually, let's look that up. I don't even... Rumor behind the naming of Iceland and Greenland. It wasn't Eric the Red. It was... Or was it Eric the Red? That was his name? Okay. The rumor is that Vikings intentionally named Greenland to attract settlers and Iceland to deter them, but the reality is more nuanced. Eric the Red likely named Greenland to encourage colonization, as the southern coast was greener during the warmer medieval period. When Iceland's name came from an early winter, explorer Floki Vilgurarsson seeing ice, though it also had green areas, leading to the paradoxical names we know today. So that's the real reason. I always thought it was because they didn't want people to go to their... Oh, well, he just said deter. I also thought it was kind of like a joke that ran on for how many years? What is bro doing? You're gonna die. Why did you wait so long?
Swanky.
Also, I'm going to remind you guys, we're the ones that pay for tariffs. There's a product. You need stuff to make that product. You get it from another country. That other country, they sell the product to you so you can make your product to sell to people here. Guess what? The government puts taxes on that imported good that you're buying to make your product. So the one who is buying that product from the person out of the country has to raise their prices. And guess who pays those prices? We do. We're the ones that pay tariffs, okay? Just saying. I'm just saying this as a fact because it is actually true, and that is the case. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Don't shoot him. Don't shoot him.
Message for him stamped.
Trump, go home. Isn't that crazy? Not only does more than half a country hate you, being this country, the U.S., you also got another country that's about to hate you even more. Because you're trying to colonize them. Because you're trying to be a settler.
In the snow. Trump, go home. He acknowledged the tough crowd attending his speech.
So many friends, few enemies.
And made clear he wanted to acquire.
If Trump wasn't a POS, he'd be the funniest president we've ever had.
Greenland, but without.
Look at how green it is. In reality, it's green You know, it's just covered in snow.
Using the military.
I don't have to use force. I don't want to use
I think now that he's retracting what he's walking back on trying to take Greenland. The reason being, he saw it and it's like, what are you talking about? I thought this shit was gonna be super, super green. I know it's winter, but is this how it is all the time? And then they told him, well, you know, the Vikings and blah, 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 blah. And now he's like, oh, you know what? I don't want Greenland no more. I feel like that's how it went, kind of.
use force. I won't use force.
That was a relief for Danish officials.
Dog, what if... Okay. I want to ask... Okay. What if the U.S. was to forcefully try to take Greenland? Okay. No. Get it. I need AI, okay? I trust AI. Listen, clankers, I'm on your side. When you take over the world, hey, I'll be chill. I won't go Terminator on you guys. No. I need you to just tell me what would happen. Okay. Oh, wait, is he telling me? Okay. The following analysis outlines the predicted outcomes of such an action. Geopolitical collapse of NATO. End of the alliance. Denmark and other European allies have warned that a forceful seizure would effectively end NATO. Denmark confirmed it, and it would invoke Article 5, treating a U.S. attack as an act of war against the entire alliance. We would go to war if we try to go after Greenland. Why is nobody getting freaked out about this? I feel like nobody's taking this seriously. It's the President of the United States doing all these shenanigans. Why is this bro just allowed to lollygag on about his whole presidency and do whatever he wants? He's doing whatever he wants. Do you know how much richer he is right now? Look, check it out. How much richer is Trump since he took office? For decades on... Okay, I don't want to read all this crap. After returning to office, Donald Trump's net worth jumped to $7.3 billion, up from $3.9 billion. Why are these guys so... Like, share some of that wealth, bro. Not in a socialist way. Just, come on, bro. Give me some free healthcare. I know you can. You just offered $100,000 to each citizen in Greenland to be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, you can take us over. How many citizens are there in Greenland? He was ready to drop. Holy shit, dude. No, maybe not. Maybe he was just... You know how his fans haven't gotten the Trump phone? Maybe he was about to scam 56 to 57,000 citizens of Greenland out of 100K each. Just like he did. How many people got... Oh my goodness. I love covering this crap. This schlop. How many U.S. citizens pre-ordered the Trump phone? Do we know that number, actually? Nearly 600,000 people. $100. Oh my goodness. What's that? I'm terrible at math. Okay. Wait. I also have a terrible memory. 590. How much has Trump gotten out of the Trump phone pre-orders? Okay. Well, exact final figures aren't... You see, that's what I was going to guess. I was going to guess 59 million, but then I thought, is that retarded? Is that not... Because I thought because of the zeros, not that I multiplied it super cool in my head. I just thought, okay, what would it be? I want to say 59 million, but maybe that sounds dumb. But no, it is. Okay, cool. I'm not that dumb. Indicated Trump Mobile collected around 59 million from roughly 590,000 pre-orders for the Trump T1 phone. Jesus Christ. Pre-order amount approximately 59 million buckaroos. Number of orders, okay, 100. Phones were promised for late 2025, but hadn't been delivered by early 2026. This is insane. Bro, how do you people keep getting scammed? This is why I don't feel bad for people that get scammed. Just like with Logan Paul, you know how he scammed all of his most of his fans with what was it, Zoo? That Zoo thing, Zoo coin or Zoo something with Zoo, something to have with animals or Zoo coin? No. Zoo. I should just look it up. I'll look it up right now. Okay. I need a new thumbnail because holy crap. Trump phone. Okay. Okay, no, this is not it. Come on. Yeah, boy. Okay. And okay. There we go. Or should I just cover that in a separate... No. Okay, there we go. That's how much he scammed you people out of. That's pretty funny. Alright, I'm done with Apex. I forgot how boring it gets when I don't have my freaking skin. You know what I had? I had a good, I want to say like easily over 800 bucks. Maybe I'm just as dumb as MAGA. Maybe I also get scammed, but I don't even realize I get scammed. Maybe I don't realize. I had like easily over 800 bucks in Apex in my account. I got banned for being nasty. Rightfully so. You know, I deserved it. It actually gave me a lot of time to do other things because I was addicted. I was hooked to this game so much. I used to be pretty decent, believe it or not. Not anymore though. I haven't played it in a while. I borrowed this one from my buddy who says he doesn't play it anymore, so I don't have my skins. I had Folk Hero. This skin that you're seeing right here, I had it. That was my most prized possession in this game. But now it's gone, and it's gone forever because apparently after almost pleading with them, nope, I'm not getting my freaking account back and whatever, okay? I'm over it. You know, I shouldn't even be playing this freaking game anymore because of what they did to me. Was it my fault? Yeah, sure. Do I regret it? Yeah. And I told them, but they don't want to listen to me. Whatever. Let's just play some Mark, bro. Or some Night Rain. Let's play Night Rain. I want to play Night Rain. When was this supposed to come out? I want to see something about this. I want to watch Trump Mobile. This is weird.
So a while back,
Whoa! Somebody got like a early. Okay, so he is gonna deliver him, guys. Have some hope.
A new mobile service called Trump Mobile was announced. Yes, that's a mobile service fully endorsed by the Trump organization, owned by Donald Trump himself.
It looks like a mix of what is that? Is that an actual button?
So guys, in this video, I'll be signing up for this Trump Mobile, and we'll see if it even works. Now, of course, the first thing we'll do is hop into this website.
Oh, that's okay. So it's a phone service. It's internet. What happened? Wasn't there going to be an actual phone?
And I'll show you the whole process because there's quite a lot going on here. And the first thing you see is all American performance, everyday price. So clearly they're playing into the American theme here, which makes sense. Trump's the president. You know, you can also see from the price here, it's $47.45 a month, which represents.
That's not terrible for a brand new service that you don't even know if it's going to work properly or not.
And also see from the price here, it's $47.45 a month, which represents.
Sign me up now.
It's his 47th presidency and also. So 45th, so I don't know, kind of nifty, I guess. And just for a price
If this guy wasn't a total D-bag, oh man, we were on the verge of greatness with Trump. If he wasn't an absolute, just dog doo-doo person, he would be the funniest president ever, I think. I don't think anybody can top this guy, honestly. 47, 45, that's pretty... Oh, man, that's pretty
Harrison,
good.
I pulled up track.
That's pretty good. That's honestly pretty good.
And you can see track phone, about $50 a month. So...
Okay. 40. Okay.
I'd say this plan, just at face value, it's a decent price. And you can see it has unlimited talk, text, and data. It's got a free SIM kit. It's got no call.
SIM? What is this? 2020... Not even 2020. When did we stop using SIM cards?
Contract. You can bring your own.
Or do we still use SIM cards? I don't think so, man.
Phone, which is what I'll do here today. I got an iPhone 16 Pro that we'll try to bring to Trump Mobile and see how that works. Also got international calling, no credit check, and then an enroll in Trump Mobile plan right now.
Whoa! What do you mean no?
The 47 plan got a nice little.
What do you mean no credit check?
Isn't not sure why they didn't.
What do you mean no credit check? Isn't that like your whole thing, like making sure everything's legal? Huh? How come it doesn't apply when you're trying to make money? I'm pretty sure they didn't ask anybody for their papers when everybody was pre-ordering their Trump Mobile, did they?
Just put Trump on the website, but whatever. Now scrolling down further, you can see it says same coverage as the 3 nationwide phone service carriers, referencing Verizon, AT&T.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's going to be as good. For example, I have AT&T. Terrible. Okay? Don't ever get AT&T. But I'm locked in, so I can't leave it. I forget which abilities I have right now. Oh my god, I am just as bad here as I am in Apex. Where are we going?
And T-Mobile, so I'm not sure which carrier this runs off of or if it's a combination of all 3. And they also claim to have a customer service call center based in the USA. Again, not sure if that's accurate or not, but
I mean, come on. They don't. We know they don't. It's probably going to be Indians.
We'll assume it is. And scrolling down further, they have this whole, I guess you can buy the SIM kit, and this is what it looks like. And they actually advertise some
What is this, 2019? What do you mean SIM kit? I gotta do it myself. I'm lazy now. I've gotten really used to not having to put any SIM cards anywhere. Except for storage in my laptop and my GoPro. That's it. What do you mean my phone has a SIM card? What? Doesn't even sound right anymore. Okay.
Additional stuff here, like roadside assistance and telehealth. Like, is roadside assistance and telehealth really included in this mobile plan? I guess we'll find out. We'll try to test that out later. And now I should also mention the coverage map they have here on the website, which looks like a very standard coverage map. Honestly, this is what every carrier looks like now. It covers the vast majority of the U.S. except for little regions kind of in the middle of nowhere. But, you know, I guess it makes sense if they're using T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. And now scrolling all the way to the bottom, this is the elephant in the room. Yes, there is a phone from Trump Mobile called the T1. It's their own special phone. Well, I say their own special phone because it's, I think, just a generic off-brand phone that was rebranded as a T1 phone, and you can see it's like gold and stuff, and it hasn't actually released yet. It was supposed to, but yeah, it has not. I'll be buying that when it comes out, but I can't buy that yet. So let's go back up here, go to the 47 plan, and let's go ahead and try to sign up and just frankly see what happens here. Okay, guys, got everything filled out here, and I should mention some other stuff that they actually conveniently added to the side of this page that wasn't on the past page. It says unlimited data for the first 20 gigs at high speeds. So I guess technically it's unlimited data, but of course past 20 gigs are going to throttle you to, like, I don't know, 300 kilobytes down per second or something ridiculous probably. Whatever. Let's go ahead and click next step here and just see what it does. Okay, so there's 6 steps here. My goodness. Step 2 is choosing our phone compatibility. So first of all, let me just let's check Apple. You can actually only bring in Apple, Google, or Samsung apparently, but I would assume it works.
Bro, what are you doing?
Phone or pretty new. And here it says it's compatible with our network. You can use an eSIM, but can't use a SIM card, which makes sense because iPhone 16 Pro does not support physical SIM cards. So.
Oh, I thought he was using an iPhone 16 Pro as... Okay, never mind.
Cool. Good that they got that checked out there. Click on Next. Congratulations, your phone is compatible with our network. Yes, I want eSIM. Sure. And what it says here is upon order confirmation, you'll see a QR code on screen to get your eSIM.
Oh, okay. You can choose between a physical... What is that? You can choose between a physical SIM card and a digital one or eSIM or whatever.
Easy enough and sounds pretty typical. Click on next here as well. Okay, we can transfer our existing number or choose a new number. I'm going to go with a new number because I don't want to actually transfer my current number. I'll just throw this on as an additional SIM on my phone. We'll do choose a new number and see what happens with this. Okay, and here it is, join Trump Mobile, billing information. You can see it's $47.45 plus some tax, so $50.17. Then you gotta confirm all your 911 information down here.
Jesus
which,
Christ, that was
yeah,
terrible.
that's fine, whatever. And scrolling further down, we got some broadband facts. Oh, let's see if they hit any other stuff down here that we didn't see earlier. So you can see speeds provided with plan. Typical download 1050 megabits per second. Typical upload 1 to 10. Latency is 1937. That all sounds fairly typical, I'd say, what I would expect here. And again, unlimited data up to 20 gigs, and I don't see any other fees or anything, so that's good to see. All right, let's go ahead and complete this order. I don't think I put in my my card info yet, but we'll see what happens here. Okay, there it is. A window pops up with where we need to put our card info in, and that is super jank. I hope it's secure. I guess, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Okay, there it is. Join Trump Mobile. Congratulations. Thank you for your purchase. Here's our...
Wait, how much was it? $50.17. Well, that takes the magic away.
Our order number, and oh, now it's redirecting me again. Okay. Aha, here we go. So we have a full Trump Mobile dashboard here with all of our details, I guess. And you can see our wireless number here that they gave me. You can also see the activation date, the 47 plan there. Okay, should be easy enough to add. And I want to mention one more thing before we actually activate this. There was one thing on the Trump Mobile website that I forgot to mention that was very interesting, and I think we'll have to investigate this here as well. So you guys saw the T1 phone, which we're waiting for it to release. I have not bought that yet because it hasn't released, but they're also selling renewed phones, a Samsung S24 and S23, and
Apple iPhone 15 renewed. Oh, this is so funny. This is insane how the grift travels. It is. Oh man, I should have got my stuff. It is multi-universal how these grifters operate. Like they borrow from each other.
iPhone 15 and an iPhone 14. And the first thing you may notice here are the insane prices, like $489 for an iPhone 14 or $629 for an iPhone 15. These prices are probably close to double market value. And just for comparison, I'll click on this iPhone 14 renewed. You can see $489, click on details. And I looked at this earlier and it just shows some generic stuff. I don't think there's anything special about it. I think it's just straight up an iPhone 14 that was renewed by somebody, who knows who. And actually something I'm very curious about is if this iPhone 14 from Trump Mobile is unlocked, or if it's locked somehow to Trump Mobile, because it doesn't specify anywhere on the website. We'll just look for iPhone 14s that are unlocked for now and get a little comparison point. Okay, so here we have an iPhone 14 factory unlocked, $225. Again, half the price of the previous one. Here's a 14 Pro Max for $370, so that's $100 cheaper than a regular 14, and it's a Pro Max. I mean, come on, man. Well, you guys get the picture. The idea is that $49 for a renewed iPhone 14.
I wonder what renewed.
Price,
okay, bro, I can't keep saving you like
this. Let's hop back into our 47 plan dashboard here and try to set this thing up. And the first thing I'll say is the dashboard is actually pretty nice and fairly useful. You see on the main dashboard here, it shows your number, shows all the details about your plan. You even got VoLTE, of course, and 5G. Then on your profile, you can change that kind of stuff. You can manage your payment and add a card or delete a card. You can see what date your plan will renew, so exactly a month from today.
A little help.
You can see how much data you've used once you've actually used it. Okay, so honestly, this is frankly easier to use than what I've than my experience with the T-Mobile and Verizon dashboards. But let's go ahead and hop into SIM services here and try to activate our iPhone and just see what happens. So I'll start by hitting view eSIM or SIM or activation code. Okay, and as soon as I scan it, you can see it says activate your eSIM. iPhone will share your eID with the carrier or provider to activate your eSIM. Okay, let's hit activate and see what it does. Ready to activate. We'll press continue here. Setting up all kinds of other iPhone stuff, and here we are. It appears
you're done,
activated.
Bro. I'm not
and you
doing
can see it down here. Okay, let's check out these details. We have a carrier network selection is Trump. That's just wild to see. It says Trump. Let's see if we can turn Wi-Fi calling on. Voice and data is LTE. Let's do 5G auto. And yeah, I guess let's go ahead and just start with testing some data service here and make sure that works. And also just to show you I'm not pulling any tricks here, I did turn off my personal and my business service lines here. So we just got Trump Mobile turned on. Now we'll hop into our web browser and let's just search for Trump Mobile on Trump Mobile and see what that does. Got a little bit of inception. Hey, yeah, pulls right up. Sweet. How about a speed test here? We'll run this bad boy. Idiot, I was on Wi-Fi. Let me try that again. Okay, so Wi-Fi turned off. We're on Trump 5G now. Now let's go ahead and try out a speed test here and we'll see what kind of speed we're getting. Wow, we got 440 down and we're getting almost 20 up.
Is that good?
That's
actually...
And here it is,
wait, that's actually kind of good. I think that's how much speed my my internet gets. That's actually kind of
Here
good.
you can see our
no,
data
no,
usage
it's
we
not.
just had, so
I was reading something
582.5
else.
megabytes out of unlimited. So that speed test must have taken a crap ton of data. What in the world? That's absurd. But next up, I guess the most logical thing to do here is make a phone call. So let's go ahead and call somebody and tell them we're here from Trump Mobile. Let's see what happens. Hello, this is Donald Trump calling from my Donald Trump mobile service.
Wow, you sound a lot different on the phone.
Can I interest you in a Trump 47 plan today for the low price of $47.45?
What happened to the first 46 plans?
No comment. Okay, guys. So data works, phone works. I guess text works because I just got this message earlier that says, just straight up says, "Welcome to Trump Mobile." I mean, it shouldn't be that funny, but it just, come on, man. I don't know. That's hilarious. I want to text back. Thank you. I also did text and said hello from Trump, and I got a text back. So I guess the text message works as well. I will do a few more tests in this video, but like first impressions, honestly, it's it's working great. I gotta say. I expected everything to be horrible and not seamless at all, but it took me legitimately like 5 minutes to sign up for this, where I've tried to like track phone, Walmart mobile, and all that kind of stuff recently, and those took me like half an hour because you had to plug in a bunch of stuff, and it's just kind of annoying to do. But this was, it was pretty simple. And I did want to mention that hopping back over here to the plan usage stats, I'm a little confused because I just tried to pull the data again, press submit, and it says no records were found within the given date range for this usage type and this customer, and it doesn't include today's date, and it still says 582 from earlier. But if that's there and I haven't actually, it finds no data from these dates, like where did the 582 come from? I also just tried to do another speed test, and I also just downloaded Raid Shadow Legends just to, like, because it's a pretty large game, just to see, you know, if it used any data, but it says nothing. So now I'm a little confused as to why it's giving me no info back, but it does say I've used 582. A little bit sus, but I'll let it slide for now. Now, next I want to do a speed test of Trump Mobile versus Verizon versus T-Mobile, all from the same phone here in the same location. So I'll hop in and do one more speed test on Trump Mobile just to get another baseline here.
T-Mobile clip.
And again, you see 367 down, 19 up, which is pretty dang good for a network that promised what was like 40 down at the most. So very solid. Now we'll go ahead and turn off Trump Mobile, and we'll move over to my business line, which is Verizon here, and we'll do the same speed test and see what that gives us. And I would assume with ultra wideband we get very fast speeds here, and actually still slower than Trump. Yeah, I mean 275 down, 22.
Ooh, I'm gonna switch to Trump Mobile, bro.
Up, so very similar, but still, at least the downloads are slower than Trump. Okay, let's try out T-Mobile now. Okay, so as you can see on T-Mobile, 5G auto, standard, all the same stuff we had on both Verizon and on Trump Mobile. And here you can see T-Mobile 5G UC. We have Wi-Fi turned off again. Okay, so here we got 353 down on T-Mobile, 15 up. And here's the thing with speed tests, they're not always going to be exactly the same. They're going to be variable no matter what. So seeing these T-Mobile speeds are very similar to what I saw on Trump Mobile. So I would assume, at least in my location right now, they're using T-Mobile towers for Trump.
Okay, honestly, I feel like we can say that this thing is probably going to be decent. I'd be surprised if it wasn't, because of all the money that probably is going to be put into it. I'm pretty sure they're going to try, somewhat.
Mobile. But guys, one more thing I wanted to test here is calling their customer service call center that's apparently in the US, just to see if it actually appears to be in the US.
Thank you for calling Trump Mobile.
Okay, well, after being on hold for 6 minutes, I don't really feel like sitting here for longer, so we're just going to end the call, because I found this website online. Let me just show you here.
I want to see if
you can see it's an article from First Alert 4 that says Trump Mobile calls being routed through St. Louis area call center. This is from June of 2025, so it appears that they are actually routing calls at least 6 months ago through a call center in the US. So we'll take their word for it, because I couldn't get through to them. I could have waited longer, but I don't want to. And a couple more things to mention. Of course, we talked about the telehealth thing earlier at the beginning of this video, and I did look into it a bit more on the website. And it says that you actually just sign up for this Doctegrity app. As you can see, it's like I guess a 24/7 telehealth service you can sign up for. So I guess Trump Mobile, which gives you free access to that for whatever reason. Very random. I don't know, maybe there's some other mobile services that do that as well. And one more thing, for what it's worth, I found this website called bestphoneplans.com that does claim that Trump Mobile actually uses the T-Mobile network, which kind of matches up with what I saw earlier.
Okay, so the T-Mobile network does cover... Oh my goodness, where did I hear it? Where is it? Ah, he bit me to it. Okay.
Despite the fact that the 47 plan said they use T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. Who really knows? But saying it's T-Mobile, it seems accurate.
So is it T-Mobile or AT&T?
So guys,
because if it's AT&T, I'm not going to get it.
Of course, let me know down below if you're going to sign up for the Trump Mobile plan. And if you like this video, I think you'll like this video here. We got a robot from Temu. Yes, a robot from Temu. Go check it out. I'll see you there.
Pretty cool, pretty cool. I don't know why.
The Trump family's attempt to launch a new smartphone is off to a rough start. You may remember back in June, Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. announced the launch of a new American-made mobile phone along with a wireless service they called...
Is it actually American-made? Okay, I'll just let it
Trump
talk.
Mobile. The release was originally slated to happen in August, but now it's November, and people are still waiting, including NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Chung. Brian joins us now. Brian, we should be clear, you, as a reporter, you decided to kind of put in and try to see if you could purchase one of these phones. Talk about what happened and what are you seeing now, like on their website, et cetera?
Yeah, Kate, we wanted to track the development of this Trump phone. Again, they unveiled it in June. His sons, as part of Trump Mobile, it was this kind of big grand offering. This phone was supposed to be gold. It was going to have an American flag on the back.
Better be gold.
So we put that pre-order, and they were
better have that
promising
American
these
flag.
phones would be released in August. Here we are in November. I've been trying to get out to the call center every few weeks and say, hey, what's the update? And I've been perpetually told it's going to be released at the end of this month. It's going to come out next month. When I would ask about reasons for the delay, they didn't have much to answer for except for that they were working on this phone. At one point, they even blamed it on the government shutdown, interestingly. But again, this is interesting because they've been taking...
Why would it be on the government shutdown? Doesn't make any sense. It's production, right? There's no phone. Come on.
Taking $100 deposits, including from me, for this phone. Nowhere to be seen in terms of where the rest of this phone is, and it doesn't seem like anyone has gotten their phones. I even got a fraud alert from my credit card company when I tried to put in that $100 deposit, saying, "Hey, are you really trying to buy this Trump phone here? This is number."
Even his company was like, "Bro, come on."
Plus, something that I imagine a lot of other people that have been trying to buy this in earnest are experiencing as well, Kate.
And I'm assuming that $100 was expensed to NBC. That you
That's
paid
right.
For the phone.
That's right.
So, is there even a phone being made in the U.S.? Do we know? And I know you've been looking at their website.
That's what I was
noting
wondering.
That there are some changes there.
Is it?
Yeah, so again, this was branded as a made in the USA phone. In fact, they said so on their website. But interestingly, as I've been trying to follow the development of this phone, they tweaked the wording on their website. And now the mention of the made in the USA is completely scrubbed. You can see the original image on the top there.
I knew it!
In that text, made in the USA T1 phone. And now all it says
First of all,
is
why would it be made in the USA? It's a phone. Where are they going to get the cobalt from? Haha.
T1, here's how. Elsewhere on the website, they describe it as an American proud design. And Kate, one big reason for this is because of the smartphone experts that I've been speaking with. They said it's
that's
not
grifting.
technically
That's what
possible
grifting
to build
is.
an entirely made in the USA phone right now at that price point and at that development timeline. That's why there's skepticism about whether or not this phone actually exists.
I remember another story you did where you tried to see if somebody could make a phone in the U.S. Didn't you do a story about
Exactly,
that?
that's
and
right.
You couldn't
And-
find all the parts.
And it was at $2,000.
Okay.
For
Brian
price.
Chung,
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yep.
Eggs and cheese and bacon and... Okay. Guys. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me lock in real quick. I can't see anything. Where are you? Ah, I missed it. All right. Come here. Nope. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, boy. You see? You see? Grift. And also, what happened to the terrorists, bro? I thought they were gonna save the world. Okay. Hold on. Yes. I don't need... Oh, wait, actually. Okay, where am I going? We need to go get some more flax, bro. Because... Some bottles of wine. Okay, what else was I going to cover? Oh, yeah. Doc, I'd rather have Trump, okay, in office rather than Vance. Is that just me? Does nobody else share this sentiment? Let's not impeach Trump, okay? Listen, if the Republicans... If the midterms go to the Republicans, if we don't get the Democrats back, there's not going to be a 2028 election, so we don't need to worry about that. If J.D. Vance gets in here, though, what are the implications, you know? Well, this guy's supposed to be worse than Trump? Is that really the case? Dodge this. Oh. Okay, bro. I missed again. Yeah, boy. Okay. Okay. Ooh.
New polling ahead of the midterm election shows Democrats are feeling highly motivated to get out and vote later this year, and that could be bad news for Republicans who are hanging on to a slim majority in the House. So let's go to CNN's chief data analyst, Harry Enton. What exactly are these poll numbers telling us, Harry?
Yeah, oh my goodness gracious. I can't believe it. The first year of the Trump administration already pretty much done. Come here. We got a midterm election coming up in November. And what are the poll results showing us? Well, you know, that generic congressional ballot, right? That's matching up the Democrats versus the Republicans and the choice for Congress. And what do we see? We see the Democrats with an advantage on that generic ballot. Right now, they're ahead by 5 points. And what I think is so interesting is you look at this 5-point advantage, and it's the same exact advantage that Democrats held among registered voters when you went back to Trump's first term in January of 2018 at this point in the cycle. And why is that so notable? Because I don't know if you remember, Pam, but back in 2018, Democrats were looking to pick up the House majority. Republicans held, of course, the House of Representatives, and Democrats were able to net themselves 40 seats in the House come November. Now, I'm not quite sure they're going to be able to net that many seats this time around, but at least according to our CNN polling at this point, the Democrats' lead looks very much the same now as it did back during the 2018 cycle, and that's good news for Democrats. But that's not the only piece of good news in this poll, because, of course, if you know anything about midterm elections, you know that it's about turnout, right? Turnout is lower in a midterm election than it is in a presidential year, and it's all about that motivation to go out there and vote. And this is where I think it gets really interesting for Democrats. So if we break it down by motivation to vote, right? If you look at voters overall, Democrats have that 5-point advantage, which I mentioned. But look at those extremely motivated to turn out and vote. Those who would crawl over those hot coals to go out there and vote. And what do we see? We see the Democrats up by 16 points among those extremely motivated to vote. This makes a lot of sense to me, Pam. Why does it make a lot of sense? Because look at the elections that we had in 2025.
Holy crap, I hadn't thought about that. It also matters how many people go out, and there's a lot of, well, I am going to go vote. But then they don't, like, have you guys ever bought anything from Facebook Marketplace? And then they ask you, is this still available? Or that's when you're selling something. Is this still available? And then that's it. You won't hear from them. And or you yourself will, like, message someone and be like, is this still available? And then they look at they either leave you on scene, on red, or they reply with yeah, and then they don't reply anymore. I feel like that's gonna happen, dude. I don't know, dude. That's just me, dude. I'm the blue one. I'm the blue one. I'm the blue one.
We had Virginia governor. We had New Jersey governor. We had those special elections as well across the congressional special elections, as well as those for state legislative elections. And what we saw in those elections in 2025 were two things. One, that Democrats were far more likely to turn out than Republicans. And
but they still lost.
Two, that resulted in Democrats vastly outperforming.
Hold on. Does that mean usually the lazy ones are the Dems? Is that what that means? Like, I wonder who goes out to vote more than the other.
2024 baseline. So I think Democrats look at the voters overall, they say, hey, that's not too bad. But they look at the extremely motivated numbers and they say, ka-ching, because if that holds towards November, they think, hey, we got a pretty gosh darn good chance of winning back that House majority.
Do we, though?
Yeah, we'll see how those numbers actually translate in reality. And voters are also expressing their level of...
Yeah, right. Okay.
President Trump has talked twice in recent days, once at the Kennedy Center and then to Reuters again last night about canceling the election. Why is he talking about this?
Whoa!
I believe you're referring to the president's interview at Reuters last night. I was in that interview.
What did you just say?
Has talked twice in recent days, once at the Kennedy Center and then to Reuters again last night about canceling the election. Why is he talking about this?
I believe you're referring to the president's interview at Reuters last night.
Didn't he just say that?
I was in that interview. It was a closed-door interview. Obviously, there was not audio or video. The president was simply joking. He was saying, we're doing such a great job. We're doing everything the American people thought. Maybe we should just keep rolling. But he was speaking facetiously.
You said that he was joking about canceling the elections. But Americans for generations have fought and died for democracy, for this democracy. Are you saying that the president finds the idea of canceling elections funny?
Andrew, were you in the room? No, you weren't. I was in the room. I heard the conversation.
Was it funny?
And only someone like you would take that so seriously and pose it as a question in that way.
As President Trump's policies continue to be unpopular, including the immigration crackdown playing out in Minnesota right now, Trump appears to understand it could cost Republicans in the midterms. He's clearly concerned enough to even suggest saying, let's not have them at all. In an interview with Reuters this week, Trump...
He's the president of the United States. Why would we not take it seriously? What are you talking about? Ooh, yeah, boy. What else do I got to do? All right.
Said, quote, it's some deep psychological thing, but when you win the presidency, you don't win the midterms. Reuters adds he boasted that he had accomplished so much that when you think of it, we should...
Oh, man, what has this guy accomplished? I want to say he has accomplished... You know what? He kept his promise. He is trying to get all of the illegals out. And then some, apparently, because U.S. citizens are also getting detained. There's little kids literally being deported that are U.S. citizens. And this is a fact, okay? I'm not making this shit up. Ah, did you steal my thunder, bro? Whatever. Okay, well, I don't care.
Didn't even have an election. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt tried to walk back those comments, telling reporters Trump was simply joking. He was speaking facetiously when he suggested that the midterm elections should be canceled. And if this were anyone else, maybe it could be shrugged off. But given Trump's history with his push to overturn the 2020 election...
Literally.
You all remember January 6th, right? We have to pay attention to his words, especially since this is not the first time he's, quote, joked about canceling an election.
There's no point, bro. It's already rigged. It's already rigged. Mark my words. Hopefully I am a schizo that doesn't know anything and is super wrong. Those elections are... If the Dems don't win the midterms, they are rigged. And this is like actually this isn't a 2020 type of situation where, oh well, if Trump doesn't win then it's rigged, or how they were just going crazy even this last election, like the MAGA was threatening people with violence, with another insurrection, with a civil war, that if Trump didn't win then it was rigged and they were gonna go crazy. Was that actually gonna happen? Yeah, probably, because I mean they went to the Capitol in 2020. So I don't doubt it. Yeah, no, if the dems don't win the midterms, it's rigged. It's rigged, and we are not going to have... Ooh. We're not going to have a 2028 election. We are... Hold on, what is this? These are pretty good. Where am I going?
Since returning to office.
So you say during the war you can't have elections?
Also, Trump said that Ukraine started the war? What? Holy crap. I just saw that in a video. Maybe I'm just a fool to propaganda. Did Trump state that Ukraine start the war? Okay. Russia. Oh, crap. Yep. Yeah, he did. Hold on. Let me lock in real quick. Is that it? Okay. Yes, Donald Trump has stated on multiple occasions during his 2024 campaign and throughout 2025 that Ukraine and its leadership were responsible for the start of the war with Russia. Talk about schizo posting, am I right? Doesn't that scare anybody? No. Nobody wants to take this seriously. I feel like we've been brainwashed into thinking, bro, stop taking everything so seriously. This isn't a movie. Stop being so dramatic. It's the prez, bro. It's the prez. That's why it's so scary. Yeah, boy. Get cracked. Oh. Woo.
So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. We have to even run against these people. Now, I won't say cancel the election. They should cancel the election because the fake news will say, he wants the elections canceled. He's a dictator.
But you're implying it.
We're back with
that is literally what dictators do.
Susan, I want to start with you.
You're implying it. You said it out loud. Now it's going to be something that people are going to be thinking about, and maybe it's a possibility? Well, who knows? The president said it. What is going on? Okay. Ah! Yeah, boy.
There was a phrase that was coined very famously by Selena Zito in 2016 that I am not sure has aged very well.
Name drop.
And her recommendation was take Trump seriously, not literally. What do you suggest we do here?
Take Trump seriously, not literally. That means he just wants to have that thought in everybody's, what is that? Oh, you know what? I want to test my okay. Okay. Hold on. Okay, I have that. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. Ooh. All right, let's do this. Which one do I want to use? Yeah, boy. Now that's going to be useless. Okay.
Delete that quote from our memory.
Hey, this isn't funny. It's the president we're talking about. We got to take him seriously, not literally, bro. Trump totally lost. What is this about?
It was supposed to be an easy interview with News Nation's Katie Pavlich. But as we know, with Donald Trump, there's no such thing as an easy interview.
I beg to differ. It was pretty easy to brainwash MAGA. Just saying. All they had to do was like, hey, we're kind of racist, you know? And MAGA was like, hey, us too. Oh my goodness, this is a terrible start.
Interview, because if it's an adversarial interview, he collapses. And if it's a friendly interview, he feels so disinhibited that he says wacky and deranged stuff. Trump was asked a relatively simple question. 2026, what are your goals? What do you want to get passed through Congress? You may not have the House after the 2026 elections, so you must have some goals for this year, Mr. President, sir. And Trump mentioned straws. He doesn't want paper straws.
Okay.
And he wants better water price.
Okay, so we don't care about the turtles. That's cool. Based. Why am I not dodging that?
Sure. When he is power flushing 10, 15 times to get the classified documents to go down, he doesn't want weak. He wants like those, you know, the hospital toilets where you flush and it's like kaboom. That is what Donald Trump is looking for.
So looking back here at home domestically, last year you worked with Congress very closely, Republicans in charge of both the House and the Senate. And of course, you're in the White House and you worked with them on the big, beautiful bill. For 2026, especially in a midterm election year, what is your goal for Congress in terms of getting your...
I don't know why I wasted it on that. I forgot that there's a transition. Okay.
Agenda through? What is on the agenda? What expectations do you have for Congress?
Well, one of the things I'd like to do, you know, we pass so many executive orders. I have great executive orders that are really...
Of course, executive orders are not passed.
Common sense and good and have, I mean, like water coming out of a sink. The water wouldn't come out. They had all sorts of ridiculous restrictions.
It was dripping very quietly.
I took all of that off. Coming out of the shower head, you'd stand under a shower, there's no water coming out. So I passed so many things like that.
Hold on. Data centers are going to do exactly that. What is this guy talking about? We lost? Damn. And look, check it out. This is how easy it is to look stuff up, okay? Okay. Does J. Trump, the J-Man, support data centers centers. President Donald Trump strongly supports the rapid expansion of data centers. So what is this guy even yapping on about? You don't care. Oh, I did not mean to do that. What is this guy even yapping on about? What is this?
President Trump has talked twice in recent days, once at the Kennedy Center and then to Reuters again last night about canceling the election. Why is he talking about this?
I believe you're referring to the president's interview at Reuters last night. I was in that interview. It was a closed-door interview. Obviously, there was not audio or video. The president was simply joking. He was saying, "We're doing such a great job. We're doing."
No, he wasn't, bro. What am I doing?
Look.
What was that guy's name? Well,
Donald
I lost
Trump
it. I lost
is
it. I definitely lost it. I did not mean to exit. But oh well. Okay. Docket, docket, docket. No. Shit. Okay, hold on. No! Okay, my shit's being slow. Okay. Damn. Okay. Wasn't it in Minneapolis? January 6th, by the way. Also, great people. The best of the best. So this is Jake Lang, apparently. What was he trying to protest? Hey, you know, white boys need protections too. And there was like a couple of black guys protecting him. It's almost poetic how insane we're all just turning out to be. So our public officials would be great. Well, I mean, look at all this. Look at these two gentlemen, distinguished gentlemen. Why protect them in the first place, right? Because the whole we need to be the bigger person mentality, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Whoa. What happened to my audio?
Look at them! Look at them! Immigrants, scum! Immigrants! Anchor baby, violent migrants!
Look at this. Look at this. Look at the instigation.
They do.
What are they doing? This guy's what is he mad about? He's mad about migrants. Okay, let's go through this shit. I am so tired of explaining this shit to people. Okay, and we're not even gonna use AI for it. Well, maybe we are, but we don't know it. Okay. Okay. Does immigration negatively affect the economy? Okay. Immigration is generally considered beneficial for economies. Before I even continue, of course there's going to be people that are going to be taking advantage of certain programs or federal. Why? Okay, I don't get why it's not. Jesus, stop. Is it my mic? This thing's not catching my microphone? Why? I don't get this. I'm just gonna start the whole thing over. I don't care. You know what? I'm gonna take this time to take a piss. BRB. So somebody told you that immigration means the economy is cooked, right? Somebody told you that? Who told you that? Who told you that lie? Now, I'm not for illegal immigration. But even with illegal immigration, the economy doesn't automatically go to shit because of it. Is it totally okay? No. There should be... That's why we have Border Patrol. That's why we have laws that, you know, regulate, I guess in a sense maybe, the amount of people that do it illegally. If there was no Border Patrol, there'd be a lot more illegal immigration. That's why we try to find ways to, you know, kind of slow it down. It's going to happen. Whether we have laws against it, whether we have protection at the border, it's going to happen, okay? We're going to have illegal immigration no matter what. Unless we turn into maybe like North Korea. Okay, so with most economists agreeing, like who? Just kidding. It boosts growth by expanding the labor force. Now, you can think, well, that's just Jesus Christ, what do you call employers using illegal employment and using illegal immigrants as cheap labor, kind of, you know, pushing out the regular workers that will that will ask for a certain oh my goodness, I forget words. Okay, so let's say you have illegals and then you have normal legal residents, okay? Obviously, the illegals are going to charge less. They're going to ask... They don't care about the salary. They don't explicitly care about, you know, a good, reasonable salary so long as they get paid. Why? Because they have less resources. They have less options. So they'll take what they can get, pretty much, basically, okay? And that's an argument that you can have. Okay, now it's working. I have no idea why it wasn't. I just turned them off. Oh my goodness. Okay. Silly me for thinking I am not dumb. Now it's not. Bro! Okay, there we go. As I was saying. So there's an argument to be had there for cheap labor done by illegal immigrants, or maybe even legal ones that aren't supposed to be working, but they're here on like traveling visas or whatever, that do kind of push out the normal legal residents and citizens that, you know, they want to work for a certain salary because all the prices are up, everything's up. Okay, the economy is going to shit, but it's not because of illegal immigration. Okay, at the very least, it's not explicitly because of illegal immigration. Does it play a role? I don't even think it does, to be honest. Increasing consumer demand. Now, okay, we buy a lot of stuff, okay? So that means the illegal people are also going to buy a lot of stuff because they are just like us, okay? Okay, filling critical job shortages. Keyword, shortages. Now, there is a lot, actually. But for the majority, how many people do you see out there in the labor workforce, okay? Doing the jobs that nobody else wants to do. Look at Florida, for example. They have passed a lot. I'm not even gonna talk before I even know exactly what's up, okay? So I'll just let Google. Okay. How have the anti-immigration laws in Florida affected the economy? Okay, Florida's anti-immigration laws, particularly SB 1718, have negatively impacted the state's economy by creating significant labor shortages. Now, you can say, well, cool. Now the citizens and the legal residents can go and get those jobs. Are they? No, they're not. I'm going to give you one example. So I am a subcontractor. when I'm not working as a foreman for this company, okay? We've gotten calls from over there, from Florida, believe it or not. Apparently, and this came out in the news, there's people scamming homeowners. These people are not illegal immigrants, okay? They are Florida residents, citizens that are doing this to homeowners. They are posing as contractors. They are pretty much, setting the whole thing up as a, hey, we'll give you free quotes. The only thing we ask is half up front once you decide to go with us, and then they get ghosted, okay? That's what's going on right now in Florida. There has been shortages in labor workforce, okay? Because guess who was doing all that work? Not only illegal immigrants, also legal migrants that are scared of ICE, that are scared to get picked up because they look a certain way. Because of all the anti-immigration policies and laws that have been passed in Florida. Increasing costs for businesses. Not only that, it increases everything. Causing potential food price hikes and leading some immigrant workers to leave, resulting in an estimated multi-billion-dollar loss for the state's economy, with projections suggesting higher prices. Now, when were these laws passed? It was a long time ago, okay? And I'm gonna tell you exactly when. It was like in 2023, I think. When was the first and okay, you know what? And okay. Let's look this one up. SB17. Okay. I said 2023. So it's been 3 years. Till this day, Florida's economy is still dog shit. These jobs had not been filled by regular people, by U.S. citizens. Why? Because nobody wants to do those jobs. In a way, immigration is kind of the backbone of the whole country. Why? Because we need to keep building stuff, okay? And it sucks building stuff when you don't want to do it. Now, for example, I like to do it. I love construction, okay? But there's a lot of people that don't. And they don't go and fill those jobs, especially in Florida. Florida, dude, Florida. So that's one point that MAGA likes to bring up, and that's they've been brainwashed into thinking immigration bad. Not entirely, okay? This is what benefits illegal okay. Okay. Do illegals. Illegal immigrants have shit. Okay. Yes, immigrants are protected by the U.S. Constitution. Key provisions such as due process and equal protection under the law apply to all persons. Persons! That's what it says in the Constitution, okay? Including both documented and undocumented immigrants. These constitutional rights extend beyond U.S. citizens. Now, what exactly do they have and what don't they have? Now, they can be rightfully and legally kicked out of the country, okay? They don't... Illegal immigrants don't have a right to stay in the country. And that's why we have due process. That's why, we have facilities, and that's why we have the Border Patrol and ICE, and we take care of that. But with a due process, okay? They have the chance to fight in court, right? But, okay. They don't have... This is not the list I needed. There's a very much simpler one. Alright, screw it. I'm just gonna ask AI. It's thinking. It's pretending like it's a normal human being and thinking. There we go. This is exactly what I needed. Equal protection, freedom, blah, blah, yada, yada, yada. Okay, they don't have any rights. Okay, important limitations. Expedited removal. Individuals apprehended within 100 miles of the border who have been in the U.S. for less than 2 years may be subject to swift deportation without a full court hearing unless they are seeking asylum.
Entry versus presence. The Supreme Court has ruled that those at the threshold of initial entry, those who have not yet legally entered the country, have fewer due process rights than those already physically present within U.S. territory. Undocumented immigrants do not have the right to vote in federal... Okay, but I need... Where's the rest? Okay. But I need... equal protection versus... Okay. Do illegals have... Jesus Christ, I cannot... Save the same pen. I cannot type. I cannot type. This is another point that they like to argue, that the illegal immigrants are draining the U.S. of its benefits, and we spend so much cash on them, which is totally false. No, undocumented immigrants do not receive the same benefits as a U.S. citizen. Under federal law, particularly 1996 Welfare Reform Act and the 2025 Tax and Budget Law, they are ineligible for almost all federal... Almost. That's right. The one thing I do know is that illegal immigrants can be eligible for food stamps. Me personally, I couldn't give a rat's ass if my tax dollars are feeding a family, maybe a single mom with kids, okay? I honestly couldn't care less. I couldn't care less if those illegals were using my tax money, like a portion of my tax money. Let's be real. We don't even know exactly where our tax dollars go. We know where they end up, in more of a broad generalization, sure. But, okay, I'm not going to go too deep into that. I couldn't care less if my tax dollars were going to a family that is using their EBT food stamps to buy snacks and candy. It's like, dude, our money goes to Congress that gets to make up their own salary each year. They get to vote on it and be like, do we want to make this much more for doing squat? But nobody's mad at that. The right isn't mad about it. Some of the left is. These are the restrictions that immigrants have, okay? So they don't get any Social Security benefits at all. Immigrants do have to pay taxes. They do. Illegal immigrants still have to pay taxes because, believe it or not, some of them they create a life here in the U.S. They get to own stuff like a house and cars, and I don't think they get to own assets. Speaking like as in like stocks and stuff like that. I don't know, but they own like the stuff that everybody else owns. So they don't get any Social Security at retirement or disability benefits, and they are ineligible for Medicaid. Okay, they don't have health care, and if they want health care, they have to pay more than anybody else. Okay. Whoa. Okay, this is not. No. Federal food assistance is restricted to U.S. citizens and a narrow list of qualified. Okay, maybe that's what I meant. Qualified immigrants that excludes undocumented, and that excludes undocumented individuals. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so then it's just a narrow list. I wonder who gets to qualify. Because I've known people that they're not exactly... Now they are, but they're not exactly... I'm not even going to go any further on that. You can imagine what I was going to say. Okay, so then I guess maybe they made the list. Okay, cash assistance programs for low-income families and the other health insurance, tax credits. So to claim must have a valid. Okay, hold on. To claim the earned income tax credit, the filer must have a valid Social Security number. Those using an individual tax. Okay, there we go. Another thing, they have to pay taxes, but they don't get anything back. They don't get income tax, but they still have to pay taxes. They get a 19 number, and they file the taxes. Do they get anything back? No. Emergency care. Oh, look at that. So they get emergency care, they get emergency Medicaid. This program reimburses hospitals for the cost of emergency care private to low-income individuals who don't qualify for Medicaid. Okay. The nutrition program for women, infants, and children remains available regardless of immigration status. So they get WIC. Public education, I mean, everybody gets that. State level changes. Okay, California starting January 2026. California has frozen new enrollments for undocumented adults in its state-funded full-scope Medi-Cal program. It will also eliminate non-emergency dental benefits for this group starting July 2026. You see, California is not so progressive. Illinois and Minnesota, these states have also moved to and or severely limit state-funded health coverage for undocumented adults in 2025 and 2026. In-state tuition, several states, including Texas and California, that historically offered in-state tuition to undocumented students, are currently facing federal lawsuits challenging those policies as of January 2026. Why? They're gonna pay for it. The shit that illegals get is insane, especially when most of them are just trying to build a life. Now, there are obviously going to be bad people. What's that one girl that MAGA loves to bring up? Listen, when a murder happens by a certain group of by few individuals in a group of people, because that group of people is seen by a certain side in a certain light, they like to generalize everything and group in all of them, but hate when they themselves get grouped into a certain group of people, certain individuals, that also commit atrocities. Laken Riley is an example. What happened to her was horrendous. It's a horror story of what can happen to a child, right? What happened to Laken Riley was done by illegal immigrants. But the argument that the right likes to bring up is if the left and the Democrats weren't letting anybody in, which was completely incorrect, then this wouldn't have happened. We could have avoided all this. Listen, if we had more gun restrictions, a lot of the school shootings also wouldn't happen, right? And who are they mostly done by? Well, we know the answer. Since Columbine, okay? You can't, honestly, grouping in individuals with a whole group of people is insane. It's insanity. You can't keep bringing up points just to justify your anger and hatred towards a certain group of people because somebody told you to. Nobody likes to look at the facts. Nobody likes to look it up. Just look it up. It's easy. Look, I just did it. I'm not a totally smart, insanely smart person. I'm not. I'm just a regular guy that thinks both the left and the right are insanely retarded. So this guy is anti-immigration. Cool. Has no valid points except some examples that aren't even supposed to be grouped in. Stop generalizing, bro. Okay. Is that the first punch? Did he throw the first punch? Okay, so did he throw it first, or was it the left? Or was it the Dems that ganged up on him?
Let's go, white Americans!
Let's go, white Americans? Is that what he said?
Our country's worth standing up for.
Okay. Getting this shit. This is very interesting.
What medications are you on?
Okay, they're protecting him. I don't know. All I saw was him hitting first, okay? He threw the first punch. Why is this on here? On January 6, 2021, the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C. was attacked by a mob of supporters of President Donald Trump in an attempted self-coup 2 months after his defeat in 2020 presidential election. Why is this on here? What kind of rhetoric are they trying to establish? sworn by counter protesters, chased out of Crusader March in Minneapolis. Yeah, what did he say, Minnesota? Now, if y'all could bring this in, whatever. He was saved from a lynching by the people he was insulting on a megaphone. You guys ever seen that story about back then during the civil rights movement? Or maybe before that. I'm not sure. There was like a bunch of KKK members that got saved by black people that were paramedics. You guys ever seen that story? Isn't that crazy? The bad guys keep getting saved by the good guys. I find it so amazing how the whites literally were about to hang him, and the Muslims saved him. Were they Muslim? I thought they were just black. He was real brave on video with no one confronting him. You can see him pissing. And the whole narrative is going to switch up because there have been screenshots of where this guy's getting dragged right at this point. Are they going to show it? Not shit. Already moved. Dragged out. Well, he's getting pulled at one point, but the black gentlemen were protecting him. They were keeping him from getting torn apart, pretty much. What does he say? Calm down, guys. And there's screenshots. Actually, he's the one that used that one specific screenshot on... Okay. I can look this up because now I have Twitter. And he's, the caption reads, they were trying to, like, off me or something. That's what, I think he says something like that. This is not why I looked it up. Okay. Crap. Okay, Jake Lang. January 6th political prisoner. I thought it was the FBI. I thought it was all plants that were inserted because I thought that's what happened. Wasn't it the FBI that were inserting themselves in what happened, and they are the ones that actually did the whole January 6th insurrection? And then they got pardoned? Is that what the whole narrative was? Well, were they playing 4D chess? I don't get it. 2024. Hold on, bro. Come on. Terrible. Because they suspect their driver is conservative and they become so violent. Is that what actually happened? Door! I'm not defending the left. The left is just crazy.
Is that him? Is that him? Yes! Open the door! Oh my God.
The narrative, it's always so dramatic.
Oh my God.
Who is it? Who is it that they're trying to look for? They're looking for a person, first of all. It's not literally no reason. Is that him? That's what I heard. Yes, that's him. Get him out. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying for no reason. There was a reason. Has this guy not posted anything? Okay. Okay. Jake Lang. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. And this guy apparently hates these people. Was saved by an African-American man, and he was treated by a Somali-American nurse. A stark reminder that humanity and professionalism rise above racism, even when hatred does not. And that's the whole thing. These guys were told to hate certain people. And because they can't think for themselves, just like the left does sometimes, a lot, they just go for it. They just go with it. Somehow found time to change his badges to AI Slob 2. This is AI? Infidel. 47. I don't get it. What's he doing with the vest? He probably asked for her credentials. Like Charlie Kirk would have done. It's not funny. I'm going to upvote this. Or, no, this is in Reddit. I'm going to heart it. Holy shit, I promise I'm not a Redditor. Republicans was attacked, yet they defended Jake Lang when... when he attacked cops with a bat on January 6th. The double standard is insane with the right. What happened here? What happened to Blue Lives Matter there? They didn't give a rat's ass when they were storming the Capitol and attacking police officers. Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely not using this. What the heck? What am I going? What am I doing? Gunshot. I can't craft this yet, so I can already craft that. So it's all good. It's all Gucci. But I'm going to buy it anyways because I have a lot of money. Matriarch. Duplicates. Battlegrounds. Okay, yes. Alright, we got time. Alright, let's do it. Okay. I'm going to throw one away. And 3 of them. 23. No. Is that good? It's pretty good, right? Let's fix this one. Okay. We're good, right? We're good? Okay, repair. Advanced mechanical components. Workshop. Let me just do this real quick. Oh, crap. I got nothing. Okay, whatever. It's all good. Let's look at the comments here. I guarantee the people whining about Jake being attacked claim to be huge police supporters, yet they defend. It's always so insanely twisted and the opposite with these people. You can't have a Punisher sticker in the back of your truck and have a Blue Lives Matter sticker in your windshield, in your hind windshield. What is that? Do you people not read? That's him? Uh-huh. Funny how that works, and it was black men that saved him. Isn't it crazy? It makes you think, why? You know how much these people, these types of people hate you, so why help them? Well, because you don't want to be like them. Because you want to be a bigger person. Not me, though. I would have left that guy to get scrambled eggs. Just like I wouldn't expect any righty or lefty to save my ass. Except the left probably would. Credit where credit is due. Unless I had a MAGA shirt. They probably the MAGA hat on. Probably the right would maybe help me. Probably not though. Go home. Whoa! What is this? Why do you have that ready? Did they have that on deck, ready to go? This is specific for for one person. Go home, Nazi. And that one's, look, you see, this is broad. He had that ready, but because he was like, let's go to a protest, to an anti-ICE protest. But this guy, where it says, go home, Nazi, he just had it on deck. He was like, in case a Nazi is out and about. That's pretty funny. What happened here? January 6th anniversary. Hold up. These are the same people that claimed it was all an FBI operation. That there were no actual MAGA people out there causing an insurrection. Oh no, who died? How come I can't see the thingy?
In the name of Christ, we rebuke you, Satan!
In the name of Christ. These people, man. Even I know Christ was not about that. Okay, hurry up. Oh, if I would have made that.
We rebuke you, Satan! We rebuke you, you demon! You demon! You evil demon! You demon! You demon! You demon!
Holy crap. Hold on. Why'd they start attacking her? Okay, well don't put your hands on someone if you're not ready to fight. Okay, now I'm thinking I'm playing Apex. Use on self. Okay, remember now.
In the name of Christ, we rebuke you, Satan!
Hold on. I'm so confused. Hold up. Okay, so I'm guessing this is the lefty.
We rebuke you, Satan, in the name of Christ! In the name of
What?
Christ, we rebuke you, Satan! We rebuke you, Satan!
I am so confused.
We rebuke you, you demon!
Okay.
You demon! You evil demon!
Okay, yeah, this is probably like the lefty or whatever.
You demon!
Okay, yeah, I mean, be ready to throw hands, you dumbass. We're just watching this? That's funny, we're not doing anything about it?
Oh my God. Whoa. Take it easy. Hey.
We are on the verge of reaching barbarism. I don't even doubt it for a second, dude. We're just watching people get annihilated. Kirk's body wasn't even rushed anywhere except just trying to retrieve all his stuff. And were there people even actually trying to help him? There was this one guy that went in for a picture. We are so cooked. But hopefully not our kids, though. Hopefully our kids fix everything. Hold on, this is the same people that were crying about Jake Lang? Ooh, just barely.
We rebuke you in the name of Christ, you
Scream if you want to. What?
Jesus is king!
Traitor? You people are traitors. You want a king. You quite literally want a king. You want a dictator. You want Trump to become a dictator. You want Trump to run again in 2028.
You demon!
What was she even doing? The guy's just recording. That's what's making me giggle.
Counter protester, both of the original January 6th and this one. Oop. Hit someone? Yes.
Yes, old lady. We got it all on camera with her bullhorn. You're under arrest, girl.
What about the other one?
Thank you, Secret Service. Thank you for your service. Have a nice life.
Wait, when did she hit someone? But didn't she hit him first? Oh, she's a heckler. Okay. I thought they just gained up on her for no reason. That's pretty funny.
Back up, guys, back up.
Still, though, I mean, Jake Lang is over there heckling people also, but are they pissed about that? Probably not. Okay, come on, let's do this. Let's do it fast and quick. He's gonna turn and look at me, I just know it. Look at that. Come on. Okay. Yes. Oh, yes, okay. At least I caught something. I mean, I don't care what else I catch, to be honest. I already have the blueprints for the Jupiter and the Philian or whatever. Oof, I'm not going to catch anything. Ooh. Okay, I do need this. So, I guess, okay. Alright, I'm good. I really hope nobody thinks I have a bunch of cool stuff. Because I don't. Can I get rid of some stuff?
Back up! Everyone back up! USA!
USA! USA! Try baby, USA. Wait, what about the other lady? They both started. They both started it. Like, how come they both don't get in trouble? Just one? Ah, the other lady didn't get in trouble?
Assaulted me first. Get out of the way! Everybody get out of the way! By pulling my hair with Maduro! Put her with Maduro! Back up!
They're bringing up Maduro. That's pretty funny.
Everybody go back! Everybody over here! Get back! Everybody back up, please! Back up! Everybody, I told you multiple times! Back up! Back up!
That's pretty funny. Okay, well, I covered everything I wanted to cover, so now we're just gonna lock the fudge in, bro. Nice. Very cool. I'm just gonna cover random stuff. TikTok.
I don't care what it is. We are all.
What's wrong with what they're doing? They're just chilling like a villain.
On skateboards. Even you guys aren't gonna stop. I'll just stand right here. Now what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? Huh? What are you gonna do about it? Huh? I'm having the kids up. What are you? Is he legal for you to take video of me?
I don't believe these people are real. And you can tell who he voted for. Ha ha.
Down a little bit.
I will not get tired. So far, I haven't gotten tired of it. Of watching Erica Kirk memes, bro. I know this is AI, but this is kind of how it went.
I got deported to Mexico because of ICE. This is my new house in Mexico.
Okay.
There's no McDonald's. There's nothing here. There's no KFC.
That already
there's
right
no
there
brunch
breaks my
meal.
heart.
And this dirty
No McDonald's? Are you kidding me right now?
fucking country. I got deported to
Oh, that was
Mexico
it? I thought there was gonna be
because
like a.
This is my new house.
Okay.
Just landed in Russia. It's minus 34 Celsius. And your boy is headed to the front lines. Just landed in Russia.
What? Holy crap. Wait. Hold up. Whoa. Whoa. He got deported? I mean, good, right? But that's kind of crazy. Oh, wow, he got deported. Don't mess with Vietnam. That's pretty crazy.
Trapmore gang, after 9 long months in a Philippines.
Holy crap. That guy was in there almost a year. That's pretty crazy.
Prison, the streamer Vitaly is finally being sent out the country. He's been deported to Russia, okay? This is him, streamer Vitaly, nearly unrecognizable with his beard and long hair ahead of his deportation from the Philippines. Now, this was an absolute disaster for Vitaly. He definitely got
brought on by himself, by the way. All he needed to do was not make content that pretty much consisted of harassing people. This guy was doing some nasty stuff to people. This is what this guy was doing, by the way. Pretty sure everybody knows, maybe. Vitaly harassing Vietnamese people. This is why he got deported.
No.
Oh, Philippines. I'm sorry. Vietnam. I wasn't thinking of Asian. I was just thinking of a certain place, and I thought that's where it was. Philippines. I'm sorry.
No. Turn it on.
Right.
No. This is GTA.
Okay, that's one.
Question for you. Can I give you a kiss? No, I have a question for you.
Is this 2018? Why did bro do this? This was right before he got arrested, so that was like last year. Jesus.
To the find out phase, all right? He effed around in the Philippines, and he definitely got to the season finale of finding out because he was in a whole world of trouble, and really he's lucky to have just spent 9 years in the pen in the Philippines. Now, let me give you a little bit of backstory on how we got to this point, all right? Because in 2024, all right, Vitaly was riding pretty...
Whoa. Hold on. Okay.
Hi, he built a decent...
Okay, this is way more important. What happened?
You're watching The Legal Breakdown. Glenn, we have a major update as far as the Epstein files are concerned. As we've spoken about previously, Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie joined together to try and convince a court that the judge should appoint a special master to oversee the files, since clearly the DOJ is not interested in complying with...
Oh, that's right. Let me just remind y'all. When were the... okay. It's been it's okay. It hasn't even been 2 months. It's been a month, okay? It's been a month. Wait, a month and some, right? Shit, where's my... Okay. A month and then some, okay? It's been a month and then some.
The law and releasing them. We now have a decision from the judge. Can you explain what just happened?
Yeah, a New York federal court judge, Judge Engelmayer, just issued an order saying that while he understands the concerns both of the two members of Congress, Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, who brought this motion, and the victims of, Epstein and Maxwell's crimes, he says he just doesn't have the authority. And I have to say, Brian, I agree with Judge Engelmayer's legal reasoning, and we can talk about that in a minute. But I want to be clear. Judge Engelmayer was not discarding these serious concerns of both members of Congress.
That's their cop-out? I'm not saying it's not a serious thing that we have to get these... Pretty much everybody just cares about the names that are in there and that have done stuff. That's what everybody wants, to be honest. Nobody wants to see the files. Nobody wants to see what's in there. We just want to see the names. Who's implicated? Who took part in? So that's their cop-out, being like, hey, well, listen, we know it's important to release him, but we don't have the authority to release him. Who does? Trump does. Has he released him? No, he told everybody it's a Democratic hoax. Now they're going back on it. Have they even backtracked that? This is insane.
And the victims of Epstein's crimes out of hand. He said, for example, the court has since received letters and emails from victims of Epstein supporting the representative's request for appointment of a neutral monitor to oversee DOJ's compliance. These express concern that DOJ otherwise will not comply with the act. They note that DOJ's track record preceding passage of the Epstein Act has been marked by paying lip service to the victims and failing to treat us with the solicitude we deserve. The question...
How many victims are... Okay. How many Epstein Island victims are? So is there 1,000 or are there 1,000 that have come out?
Questions raised by the representatives and the victims are undeniably important and timely. They raise legitimate concerns about whether DOJ is faithfully complying with federal law. Spoiler alert, they are not faithfully complying with federal law. But then I think appropriately and in accordance with controlling precedent, Judge Engelmeyer says, look, there is no lawsuit that has been filed by anybody challenging DOJ's violation of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. It's failure. It's obvious failure to comply. So because there is no lawsuit, there are no parties involved in current litigation on that issue. So therefore, Judge Engelmeyer concludes, and you can almost feel in the tone of his order, he concludes somewhat reluctantly that he just doesn't have the authority, and I think the judge is right in that regard.
All right, Glenn, well, that raises the obvious question here. But first, before we get to that, just a quick reminder for those who are watching, if you want to stay on top of everything as it relates to Epstein or legal news, the best way to do that is to subscribe to both of our channels. The links are in the post description of this video. 100% free, great way to support our work. Okay, so Glenn, getting back to the obvious question here, if Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie don't have standing to bring this case, who does? And how easy would it be to see that process play itself out?
The president doesn't want to release him. So who is going to release him is the question. Well, oh, crap. I don't understand how... It is crazy to think, what are the implications? Oh, who is going to get in trouble? That will affect, nations or whatever they said. That will bring down whole countries. Okay, bring him down. Oh my goodness, with these ticks. Okay, I'll fight you over here.
When the appropriate parties who do have standing come forward?
Yeah, that's exactly the right question, Brian, because where do we go from here? And we just touched on kind of the darkness involved in this ruling, that it seems like nobody at this moment can compel DOJ to, just abide by the federal law and do right by the victims. They're not inclined to do either of those two things. But whereas Judge Engelmeyer spent 6 pages basically laying out what I just summarized for our viewers, the last 2 sentences on the very last page in the conclusion paragraph says the following. Here comes the point of light. This decision denying the representative's request to appoint a special master or a monitor and try to wrestle these documents out of the hands of the Department of Justice as the law requires, this decision is without prejudice for the representative's right to initiate a separate lawsuit. The representatives are also, of course, at liberty to pursue oversight of DOJ via the tools available to Congress. Now, the judge in a footnote says, listen, I'm not rendering an opinion. I'm not offering any advice about whether it would be a successful lawsuit, but I found it interesting that he chose the word right, the representative's right to file a lawsuit because the Department of Justice is violating the federal law. Indeed, the federal law that these 2 representatives co-sponsored and that the victims of Epstein and Maxwell's crimes are demanding the Department of Justice comply with.
And which, by the way, the DOJ's own leader, the President of the United States, signed into law himself.
Go figure. You would think his Attorney General would therefore have an interest in carrying out the law that Donald Trump signed. But, you know, I think that whole thing was for show. And it's clear Pam Bondi intends to cover up, to conceal, to secrete everything, particularly if it might, you know, come home to roost and somehow paint Donald Trump in a bad light. But here is, I think, the really good news coming out of this ruling. I have a feeling the next thing you're going to see, because, Brian, as we just heard, Judge Engelmeyer said this does nothing to prevent the representatives' right to file a lawsuit to accomplish what procedurally they can't quite accomplish in the current posture. So I have a feeling the next thing we're going to see are lawyers for Congress, for these representatives, filing a lawsuit and taking advantage of that, if not suggestion by Judge Engelmeyer, that opportunity to actually create standing. And I have a feeling, Brian, you may see some of Epstein and Maxwell's victims join as plaintiffs in that lawsuit. Why? Because now you have belt and suspenders when it comes to standing. Because if the members of Congress don't have it, well, the victims of Epstein and Maxwell's crimes will surely have standing. So, Brian, I think the forces of good, I think the forces that actually care about the rule of law and the rights of victims may have lost this battle, but I think there's another battle to be fought very soon, and I think the forces of good may end up winning this war.
I'm glad that you brought up a belt and suspenders approach, because I think that two-pronged approach is especially important. My first question to you was going to be, would it be smart of Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie to bring this lawsuit? Because do they have standing? You and I spoke about this, the fact that you know, just because a member of Congress or members of Congress were involved in legislation doesn't give them standing to challenge any law that's been broken anywhere, because it's always Congress that's responsible for passing laws. So it's not like they specifically have standing. Otherwise, they would have standing for anything, and members of Congress would always be able to sue for everything. It's got to be somebody who is actually impacted by virtue of the law that was passed. But in this case, it would be both. You would have Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie, who, you know, if they do have standing, great. But if they don't, and you have survivors who are also named plaintiffs on this case, then that would make sure that every, you know, T is crossed, every I is dotted, and whoever does have standing is taken care of by virtue of, you know, who's included in that plaintiff block on the, you know, the first half of the V.
Yeah, it's a great point, because Congress has some powers. They have some opportunity to compel compliance by the executive.
Are you really going to pretend like they don't have the authority to do so? They do. They're just not gonna. I wonder exactly who in Congress might be implicated is the thing. Okay, well, I didn't want to cover any more. All right, Vitaly.
Trapmore gang after
throw flashbangs at
right? Because in 2024, all right, Vitaly was riding pretty high. He built a decent following through doing prank videos and then pivoting into the kind of the it's very, very entertaining, but also like they are a little bit twisted. But he got himself into the predator hunting live stream.
Hold on. When he was doing the whole to catch a predator thing, that was pretty interesting. Because I mean, obviously they were catching potential pedos. What was interesting about it is they were essentially trying to corner them so they could beat them up. That was the whole. I feel like that was the whole point of catching them. Not just that they wanted to, you know, get the clout of catching pedos, but I'm pretty sure they were also trying to make content off of beating those people up. I'm not gonna say I'm against beating up those types of people, but because I'm not.
Space, and this transition was something that was covered by the channel Papa Meat. All right, so let's hear a little bit of catch up.
What?
And here's just a list of some of the things that have happened on the stream.
A guy watching a guy watching a guy. This is Schlap Inception.
The random fan of the stream comes up and punches a 73-year-old accused pedophile, knocking him out, hitting his head to the pavement. There's blood everywhere, and Vitaly sits in his van talking about how his career's probably over again. They shave a predator's head. Vitaly pisses on a predator's face. Vitaly and Ty Dolla $ign.
Holy crap! I didn't know they peed on him.
Shave the head and throw flashbangs at a predator as he runs away. A suspect gets assaulted by a bystander. One of the suspects gets slapped around. Vitaly grinds on a suspect. Vitaly attacks a predator. Vitaly supposedly catches the Space Jam producer and writer of the movie. What life am I in? Oh, did someone say another flashbang?
So he's out here committing crimes on fools, but they're predators, so it's okay, right? It's okay. But, okay, he would fly a little bit too close to the sun numerous times, all right? One of the individuals that he actually caught during a stream with Aiden Ross.
That one's pretty funny. Before he goes to jail, you got to call your moms and pops and tell them, hey, this and that. I wanna see that clip where he says he's joining. That's why I looked this up. Or maybe he was just trolling. I think what would actually be a whole redemption arc for this guy would be him actually joining, but the good side, not the Russian side. That'd be pretty based of him. I want to watch that.
How to counter drones in modern warfare. First step, put up an umbrella. Believe it or not, umbrellas are kind of commonplace in a lot of infantry units. When they're making nighttime movement.
But can't they see through umbrellas like not X-ray vision, heat?
Where thermal cameras can find them very easily. When you put up an umbrella, they can't see you anymore.
What about an aluminum umbrella?
Obviously, you want to put some camouflage on top. You maybe want to use different material, not something that's going to catch the heat like this is. But nonetheless, it's very effective as long as you put a little bit of time and effort into putting some brush on top and some concealment. And not to mention...
Okay. That's pretty easy. I have an umbrella. Because let's be honest. I feel like even if Civil War was to start, there'd be some drone warfare included. But let's say the third act finally begins, then yeah, we're cooked with drone warfare. They got the upper hand, definitely.
You can stow it away real quick. And going on with that, a scarf. Something I learned in Iraq, which was very useful for me in Ukraine, is putting a scarf over you. Not only is it gonna somewhat mask the thermal, at least for a short time being, but you can also see through it. I can see you.
So pretty much also, cold stuff. Leave out your jacket out in the cold. And then you sense danger, put that thing right on. They're not going to be looking for cold sinks. They're going to be looking for heat sinks. I'm sorry, signatures. Of like, they're already going to blow it up. I'm way too late for this. Yeah, it's going to happen.
This would be handy for. But one thing about drones is that they're operated by a human looking at a screen. And humans were made to recognize other faces, whether it's an enemy or a friend. It's very human to catch on features that look like a face. So to hide your face with a scarf that you can see through still, you can look up at the sky and try and find that drone, instead of letting them see your big oily face with two bright eyes. From the beginning of warfare thousands of years ago to today, the most lethal weapon on the battlefield still stands, a human. So all this machinery that we have, it was all built by a human, it is flown by a human for now, and the human mind continues to be the most powerful weapon on the battlefield, no matter what you face. The next one is sewer systems. If the human mind just doesn't cut it, become a rat. Build yourself subterranean structures, whether it's tunnel systems, going through piping like the Russians do, to great effect, to be honest. Suja, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, all of them have examples of Russians using sewer systems to get behind the lines, and they work very effectively. And I would know that personally. Use subterranean as much as possible. Drones can't detect you there, they can't strike you there, and they can't find you. Think about Hamas, still exists. The next one is weather. Obviously, the best use case for these drones is observation. The fact that they can recon an area and find you and then call in whatever they want.
They definitely know we're here.
So one way to avoid detection is to conduct your movement
Sewer systems. I hadn't thought about that. They could even be like a cool hideout, not just, you know, temporarily. They could become like a little mini base, maybe. You become a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
In the middle of a thunderstorm, in the middle of very dense rain or very dense fog, in the mornings, dusk, dawn. These are tactics that ISIS used to use back in the day. We used to call them thunderstorm assaults, where they would only go out of their tunnels when it was very rainy outside. And the same goes for us. We have to utilize the weather. And that kind of goes into daytime, nighttime. Nighttime is usually the most lethal time to be walking around because of the thermal signature that you radiate. It's very, very effective and it's very hard to mitigate, although I'm going to give you guys a couple examples of how. But one thing to keep in mind is that if you're moving during daytime, a typical surveillance drone like a Mavic 3 cannot use its thermal imagery when it's daytime. It will shut off that camera so the sun doesn't damage that lens. Now there's some workarounds for that, but we do not use thermal during daytime. We're not even allowed to. We can't. Our machinery doesn't allow us to most of the time. I'm a big believer in daytime movements as opposed to night because of the thermal, but also nighttime, it complicates everything. 0s, 5s, 25s, trying to find mines, as well as the speed of the movement and the dependency on technology, like your NVGs that have batteries that can run out, or an accidental flashlight discharge, which will get everybody killed. The next thing you can do as an infantryman is anti-drone netting, which is very common all across the front line ever since the beginning of the war. You put netting in front of your bunker, that way the FPV gets caught in it, and it can't go inside the bunker directly and kill everybody inside. So put camouflage netting everywhere you can, not only to conceal yourself when you need to look outside real quick, or to conduct sills, or to prevent an incoming FPV that knows your location already. And the next one that's being used in Ukraine all over the place is a signal analyzer, where you have a
that's
device.
so sad. He's man. He's giving an example based on the fact that, you know, Ukraine soldiers are doing this. It's actually kind of depressing now.
Recognizes when there is a frequency that's being emitted into the air. So one thing to know about an FPV is that it's got an omnidirectional antenna, which makes it so that the operator 20 kilometers away can still view the video feed from that drone, but yourself, you can also detect it. So tiny SAs will be able to detect that signal just as clearly as the operator 20 kilometers away. It's gonna give you an alert, let you know that there's something flying around on this frequency, and then you can call it into the bigger jammer networks and say, we have this frequency next to us. Is it friendly? No, jam it out of the sky. You understand? The next one, overhead concealment and cover. Who would have thought? Forests, bunkers, houses, urban terrain especially. Concealment that you put over, netting or whatever it is. Yeah, that's gonna make it so that they can't find you. If they can't find you, they can't hit you. That's the big thing, is avoidance, early detection. Trying to be as
You ain't gotta be the fastest, you just gotta be faster than the slowest one, okay? Remember that.
visible as possible to these drones that are trying to find you every meter of the battle space. And the next one is dispersion, because the odds are if you're making a big movement, they're gonna find you. They're gonna find you. So having a big machine gun line of 10 guys on a couple of 240s, it's kind of old school now. You're gonna be found and you're gonna be struck, and one FPV can take the entire team out. So it's important to have dispersion, whether you're in a patrol or in a static position where you don't have cover from an RPG. And kind of going on the structure of the bunker, you wanna make sure that there's a zigzag entrance. So what that's gonna give you is it's gonna stop the FPV from entering right inside your building dodge. The blast as well as the shrapnel is gonna hit the edge of it, and it's not gonna be able to get in. Now let's talk about kinetic ways, at least what you can do as a soldier, carrying with you a rifle and a shotgun. Well,
I'm not good with either, but I'd probably go with a rifle and a handgun. That's why I'm practicing. I'm practicing with ARC, especially with people. Because some of these raiders that go aggro for no reason, I don't know, man. I feel like that's how it's going to be when everything goes down.
Rifle is only going to be effective against a Mavic. I think we've seen plenty of videos of people trying to shoot down FPVs with rifles. I think it's about 1% of the time that it's actually effective. I know that firsthand from my team. So rifles are only for slow-moving, loitering Mavic drones. Mavic drones that are even 300 meters out. I've been able to hit one. I'm sure that anybody who has basic training would be able to do it. Iron sights, that's what I did it with. It's fairly easy as long as you have the training, the fundamentals of that rifle that you're using, and you have some training time with it. Now for shotguns, it's a must-have for any environment where there's going to be FPVs. FPVs, it's very difficult to shoot down with a rifle. Very, very difficult. Just take my word for it. If you don't, look at the countless videos. They need shotguns, so you should have one at least in a team. Have as many as possible. Yeah, it's more weight, but if I was an infantryman in Ukraine, I would feel very weird about not having a shotgun that was...
That's for people, isn't it?
Readily available for myself, personally. At least for a movement, like a big patrol, yeah, I want a shotgun with me. The next one is camo up. When you're about to conduct a patrol, take the 10 minutes to stuff your gear and your uniform with as much brush around you. It takes 10 minutes. minutes, but it does such a good job at masking yourself from daytime cameras as well as thermal a little bit. And talking about patrols, all guns up. When an FPV is loitering around you, spinning around you, everybody should have their guns up. That is the most inherent threat to your life and your squad's life. You gotta take that thing down, no matter.
You gotta be ready. So even when you're chilling, you know, like remember exactly where everything's at and have it ready, like to unholster. That's pretty cool. This is pretty cool.
What the situation is, in my opinion. So one easy way to react to a drone is get everybody's rifles up. You call up drone, everybody's rifle up, try and shoot that thing down. Even if it's not a shotgun, it's better to have 20 guns on that thing instead of just 1 or 2 drone guards who have a shotgun or a rifle. Get everybody up in the action, try and shoot that thing down. I'd imagine that's probably a really good way. I've heard that the Russians do that a lot. A lot of our...
Imagine it's like a fleet of drones. They definitely got something ready in case there's like an uprising. I feel like they're not gonna send one per like group of people. They're gonna send in like battalions, like fleets. I feel like they're ready. Like they are ready, not us regular people. I feel like we think we're ready. Maybe the those people that have like a bunker and everything. Those people are probably good, but the rest of us, we're cooked. We're cooked. This ain't gonna be no like post-apocalyptic movie type of survival. No, bro. We are cooked as soon as it happens.
Our drones in particular were shot down by Russians. It is effective, and I definitely recommend that. The next thing is that while you're on a patrol, what are we taught as infantrymen? You should be looking around where you can dive into cover at any moment. That's one of the things that you do in a patrol. But one thing you should probably look for is where can you dart 50 meters away to get to a very hard piece of cover. Whether that's a house, a basement, a thick forest that you can run into. Forests are a great way to get away from drones. Yeah, you can still get hit. I mean, people get chased around in forests all the time. But it's very difficult. We only see the success clips, to be honest. We don't really see the failed FPV clips online. There's plenty of them where they're chasing them in forest and they hit a tree and then they're not able to reach their targets. So get inside there. It's going to slow down the time that the FPV can come, and you can actually outrun it, as well as be concealed from not only the Mavic that was watching you the entire time, that called.
I wonder if, maybe this is a dumb question. I wonder if like police scanner types of scanners, but for drones, could be a thing. Oh my goodness.
Than the FPV, but also from that.
Has anybody made that? Like some drone scanners, like police scanners, but for drones? Is that a thing? That'd be a pretty good counter.
FPV itself. And if you're in that forest and that FPV is still chasing you, find a big thick tree and hug it and try and use that as some bit of cover. Trees can stop bullets, and they can certainly stop shrapnel from an FPV. So last ditch effort, but find something that you can hide around. Find cover. Who would have thought? The next one I want to be very careful about saying is freezing. You see a lot of clips, especially from the Russians, where they freeze in contact with an FPV and then they get struck. Well, freezing is good in certain circumstances. If you can hear the drone, I would say don't freeze. They probably already see you, and you just got to get to cover at that point. But if you suspect that there's a drone in the air,
and you got to remember, if this ever happens, it ain't gonna be these types of drones. It's gonna be man-controlled drones. Okay, there's gonna be someone behind that controller manning it. Okay, I think I'm cooked. Yeah, don't run. Come here. Okay. Okay.
or if you're in the middle of a patrol, crossing an LDA, a linear danger area, I would recommend freezing, making sure that while the rest of your team is moving, you don't move. That way you can react to that drone and they can't find you as easily. Train for denial and deception. Regularly rotate your positions and run exercises with your team that force them to operate without revealing their habitual patterns. So do long training scenarios where you have to stay out in the forest and not get observed and not get killed by this drone. If you're fighting in a war with drones, you probably have a friendly unit that can fly drones too, and they should be helping you train by chasing you around, trying to find you. Train how you fight. Get drones inside those training scenarios. Medical and casualty preparedness. You gotta expect the worst. You should pre-position medkits in all of your squad. Where's the medkit? Everybody should know. TQ is the same. Rehearse casualty extraction. Very, very important with drones. And learn how to do this with reduced visibility without turning on a flashlight at nighttime. Have a direct line with the EW support around you, the assets. Whether it's with your command or directly with them, you should know the available support in your AO. And you should know to call them and also find out their routines. When do they turn on the jammers for everybody in the area? There's usually a routine and you should know that so that way you can make your movement. Record. Having a GoPro, you can find out how your squad reacts to this drone. You can learn what was effective, what wasn't, and you can pass it on to the TOC and the intel guys in the back. And better yet, if it doesn't have any munitions, say it's a Mavic or a bombing FPV that already dropped its bomb, recover it if you shoot it down. Recover it and give it to the intel guys. They'll be able to find out what frequency they're running on for that month. It's usually like the same unit that's using the same frequency for a month. And that's going to go a long way, not only for yourself, but for everybody around you. That way the EW knows what to target, what frequency. Use decoys and dummy activity. Everybody in Ukraine knows that if you use a Harris radio...
That's pretty crazy. Everybody in Ukraine knows. It's so bleak. Because, yeah, everybody in Ukraine probably does know. Because they're at war.
Which has a very distinct radio frequency. Yeah, it's encrypted, you can't tell what's being told on it, but it also creates a very unique signature. So you can use that as a decoy. You can set that up in a position far away from you, and then you make your movement while they're looking at this decoy, wondering, ooh, what's going on here? And they're gonna maybe even launch something big at it instead of you. Does that make sense? Decoys, think about it. It's the human mind, the human mind. We're creative. Mask logistic movements. Resupply at night or under cover, dusk dawn. And also make sure that the timings of the convoys aren't predictable. And that goes for patrolling as well, infantry movements. You don't want to be predictable. As a Mavic pilot, we would look at an MSR knowing that the Russians did not learn. They always came at this time and they're going to be going down this place. Stagger it. When they went out to the field a week later, we didn't catch them until midway through. And they still got away because that EW backpack on them. So make it different for the operators. Make it different than what they're used to. Because they're going to react to the routine, not react to what they think you might do. Does that make sense? And going on with that, plan alternate routes and fallback positions. Never move along a single predictable trek. You should have prepped, safe locations with water, food, enough room to keep a team inside it. You should have these prepped or know where they are. Ask your leadership, ask the units around you before you go there. That way you know you can go there if the worst happens. Have a drone guard. You should always have an early lookout. Somebody's looking at the sky when you can't even hear it. Vision goes further than hearing, and you can find these drones down in the sky before you can hear them. So always have 1 or 2 people in your squad, constantly observing, so you have the earliest detection of these things. Limit electronic emissions and be deliberate with radios. This is a big one. We're taught in the military, but it's even more important today. Broadcast only when you're needed. Use short bursts and follow comms discipline to avoid creating locational cues. They can triangulate you. Use natural terrain for masking. No different from the patrol techniques that I got 10 years ago in the Marine Corps. Use ridge lines. Use folds in the ground. Use buildings blind sides for approach and exfil. Use the terrain around you. It can help you, even if the drone is looking at you from a 45-degree angle. Laying in the prone can help a lot. Make sure to have camouflage on your position. If you're in a static position, you should be camouflaging everything. You shouldn't be throwing trash everywhere. You shouldn't have the generator uncovered. You shouldn't be leaving stuff outside. You should have everything packed away, everything camouflaged as much as possible, because that's what a drone looks for. They're looking for signs of life. Keep light discipline. Said it a million times before. Just don't turn on the flashlight.
That's pretty good. These are actually pretty good. Okay. Let's continue the raid. Okay, yeah, no, great, awesome. How come you get to do that to me twice in a row? That's what I get for being stingy. That's what I get for being greedy, I guess. Totally unfair, getting stepped on for no good reason. And this mother freaker over here was ready to maul me also. It's pretty annoying.
Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not.
Donald Trump.
I wonder what freebies he's talking about. Do they actually? I don't know. This is news to me. Does Canada depend? The Canadian economy is highly trade dependent. Okay, their trade. Oh my goodness, my hero. Whoever that guy was. There goes my hero. Oh no, somebody didn't get revived. Look at that poor guy. This is why I get downed, because I'm greedy. Okay. Take this. Oh crap, he saw me. How come he only sees me? Okay. Okay. Look, he wants to look at me. Okay. Like he's looking for me. How do you know I'm even here? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Fast, 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 fast. I saw it. Okay, alright. There's one. Why am I having so much trouble stealing that stuff from this freaking bum? Why are you just looking at me? Like, I don't get why bro's just looking at me. Alright, let's get out of here, bro. My shield's almost out. Alright, not too bad, not too bad. The Canadian economy is highly trade dependent, and the U.S. is by far its most important trading partner. Bro. Didn't we just kind of, it's still going after my ass. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's just call it. Come on, come on, come on. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah, boy, run! The sum of Canadian imports and exports was 2/3 of its gross domestic product, GDP, in 2024. By contrast, the U.S.'s imports and exports were 1/4 of its GDP in that year. Is that a substantial? Oh my goodness, get out of my face, bro. Is that a substantial difference? I don't get it. No, don't run. You wanted it. Don't close that thing, bro. Ooh, who just got downed? Oh, I'm about to be greedy again. What? Bro, what the heck? Alright, I'm out. Ah! Come on, come on. Come on, baby. Oh, I feel like a rat's gonna come after me. No? We're good? Alright, let's do this. Ooh, out of there.
Just gave a more than 1 hour speech to world leaders in Davos, Switzerland.
Why would he want to threaten everyone? Okay, he wants to alienate us. Why? Because once he takes control over everything, he doesn't want anybody interfering. Did I figure it out?
It's usually an economic forum, but now more like a battlefield.
I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us.
In that roughly
This guy's
hour and
losing it, bro.
15-minute speech, about 20 seconds were devoted to Canada specifically. I've already played you about 12 of those seconds. Here are the remaining 8.
Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements.
I'm going to explain what the President of the United States was reacting to and on what level this sours an already strained relationship.
There is a strong tendency for countries to go along to get along, to accommodate, to avoid trouble, to hope that compliance will buy safety. Well, it won't. So what are our options?
The day before Trump spoke, it was Mark Carney's turn to address the room. His speech was in effect to frame the US-led world order as irreversibly ruptured. And he made this point with a story.
Every morning, this shopkeeper places a
US-led world order. I don't think we're nearly anywhere close to leading the world. We're pretty much super crazy in debt to China. I don't get where this is coming from. We're not that powerful, are we? Or are we?
sign in his window. Workers of the world unite. He doesn't believe it. No one does. But he places the sign anyway to avoid trouble, to signal compliance, to get along.
This is a parable from an essay written by Václav Havel almost 50 years ago, answering how communism sustains itself. The analogy here, of course, being with how the world placates Donald Trump.
And because every shopkeeper on every street does the same, the system persists. Not through violence alone, but through the participation of ordinary...
What happens if we... This seems like he wants to alienate everyone, right? I'm not going crazy. Like he's trying to back everyone off because they know we'll do something dumb and maybe cause a third world war. Like obviously there's countries at war right now. There's Ukraine. Israel isn't a genocide. I mean, isn't a war. It's a genocide. There's that one. There is, you know what? Let's look it up. How many countries are at shit right now? Whoa! Where are we marked? No. Yep. Yep. Terrorist insurgency. Whoa, bro. Oh, the one in Congo is the saddest one. No, it's not the saddest one, but it's up there. Whoa, what's going on in Thailand? Wait, what? Bro, I didn't know this many were in conflict right now. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so now I know what to cover next time. Tomorrow. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to go over these tomorrow. Well, I covered everything I wanted to cover. I don't know how to do the outro, so I'm just going to say have a good rest of your evening. I hope you're doing swell. I hope your day was pretty good. I hope your day tomorrow is pretty good. And listen, both sides are crazy, okay? Don't think one side is better than the other. Maybe in some things, but, you know, ultimately, it doesn't really matter who we vote up there. They're going to work for the same people. They're going to look for the same, I guess, type of funding, to put it in nice words, or for lack of better wording. A third option would be pretty nice. Can we just write anyone in? Cool. I didn't know that.